found the necklace.
Oh, the necklace too. There you go.
You know, John, I just keep finding more and more stuff for the Stream Deck.
Well, I need to talk with you because for me, I'm seeing that you're automating things that to me, I don't really see a whole lot of value in automating. You know, they're almost as quick to do them in other ways. However, you may be seeing things I'm not. So I thought maybe, I don't know if it's going to be this week, maybe Friday. If not next week, I definitely would like to get together with you and see like what you're doing with them and how we might use them.
Yeah.
And then are we using your video?
Yes, I'm working on that now. Hang on here. Wait, I can video my camera when I'm also using it on. It's not letting me do that. So then I have to do what? I did this before. Yeah, let's go without that tonight. So just watch on the Twitch stream because I need to tweak something. We'll be using mostly tabletop stuff as well. Hello, everyone out there in Twitch land. Yes, we are live with audio. We'll get started and switched over in just a moment. We have one player that's running late, and so we're doing a couple of little last-minute things here. But thank you, everyone, for joining us. Hello to Robert. Good to see you, Robert. Good to see you, Boba, my friend. Outstanding. Patrick, of course. Patrick, you're cosplaying as well. That's cool. We have the bit tracker should be launched and running today, Fraley. So we'll just keep an eye on it and let me know if anything is not working. Already got a follower. Thank you, Jim1829, whoever thou mayst be. We appreciate you joining us. And of course, we have some of the players in there. Hello, August and Natasha. Old school, my friend.
Also, John.
Uh-huh.
Have you heard of an extension called PRM for Bob?
I have not. Why don't we talk about that after the stream and we'll see, okay? I would like to see it, and maybe I can run over a couple things with you on what you're doing with the Stream Deck as well, because, like I said, I've got some of the... I won't have a lot of time today to speak, but maybe a few minutes after stream I could.
Bum, 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 bum.
Oh, I have my mask on.
Nice, Manda. Nice.
Needed some water.
You know, I know the feeling, though, because after how many years of virtual meetings, I still leave myself muted. You know, it'd be like, oh, shouldn't we be used to this by now? And you know, forgetting the mask is on your face is just one of those things.
Right?
I can honestly say I don't leave myself muted too often, and I Zoom all the time. That habit, I think, died a while ago, but as soon as I say that, I'll do it tomorrow. Hello, Thomas.
I have a background noise in the office.
No, hey, it's good to, and no worries. Maybe you can log back in when you get home, Thomas. But I've also been getting bugged by all the shopkeeps. I can see that Click is planning a shakedown in the low quarter of Altamira. That'll be fun. So I'm communicating with them, but we will go ahead and we'll role play all that live on Sunday, Thomas. But I'm getting input from all the shopkeeps. Hello, Ewan. Good to see you. Tracy as well. Greg, hello, my friend. All right, let's go ahead. Today, we're going to go in a little bit different order. We're going to go ahead and play our opening video first instead of later because Josh is going to be coming in hot. He's getting in just a minute or so from now, and so we don't want to waste any more time. We're going to go ahead and play the intro video, and then we'll go to our live screen as soon as Josh gets in. Sea of Dark Sun. In the ashes of the reign of colorless fire, ancient soil wizards rose from hidden depths, forging a new empire. A land of blood, sand, slavery, psionics, and survival and alliteration. Anala, elven rogue, half-blind and fully bound Vendari. Nida, elven Vitasan of Galata, brings water and life. Hey, Jay. Hey, Don. Kalak, Luxai Three Cry Green, brings vengeance and doom. Tick, half-giant gladiator, escaped slave and 11 feet of muscle. Lucius Geislinger, elven bard, child slave, now freed and bent on freedom for all. Zephytok, human of giant blood, druid of the waste. And here the Flaness is forsaken by the gods. Here the sea of dust. Hate and ash. The sea of death. The sea of dark sun. Let's go. All right, so we don't have Josh yet. We're going to wait to switch over just because it'll mess up our cams if we start over too quickly. While we're waiting for Josh, let's just say hello to everybody in chat. In chat, tell us, we'll do a full what happened last time. But as you'll recall, there were two real primary elements of the game last time. It was the combat that was planned for and then engaged with the Tattered Flag Raiders, which were responsible for the slaughter of the Jinda family, and no doubt countless others, whom the party came upon when they first were playing with those two spectral children a few 3 sessions ago, or this no 2 from today, and then last week when they fought them 2 weeks ago rather. The combat began very auspiciously for the party, and that'll come up in our What Happened Last Time. Toward the end of last week's stream, we switched to a scene with our Thrycreen, Kalakori, who was on a table of torture beneath the cruel instruments of one of the Sorcerer King's minions. As he began applying these methods to Kalak, there was a sudden awakening of a latent wild talent. He was one of the few Thrycreen that had not yet manifested. Most of them do have some psionic power, and he found his last time under the duress and pain of the torturer's implements. And so, with all that said, chat, what are you hoping to see tonight in the stream as the party finishes their combat with the Tattered Flag? Hello, Midsummer. Hey, Inked Ignorant, good to see you as well. Ian, good to see you in here. I already said hi to Jay, I think. Jay, Don, and let's see who else is in. I haven't caught. Dehydration, yes, and we have a dehydrated party. Go ahead and remind us, Tick, what is your current state of dehydration, gallon deficit, and constitutional impact?
Let's see. Well, let me pull up my character sheet.
Rachel, you're hoping for the wrong thing. Come on. Who doesn't love a little good TPK?
Gallon deficit? I don't know. It's like 10, 12 gallons. It's ridiculous.
I think I can switch over to hang on, I think I have a screen here that'll work that we can be on and at least be seen while we're waiting for Josh. Let me see if the everyone screen works. That'll work. All right, there we go. Forgot I had this one. It's kind of a catch-all for when something goes wrong. So you are now both seen and heard. Hello, everyone. And we will wait just a moment before we get started. But let's go ahead and go back through that. You were saying, Rory, that Tick is at?
It's something like 12 gallons. I don't remember the exact gallons. It's a lot, for sure. It's 8 plus.
What's that?
It's more than 8 gallons, right? Because I've taken a hit to my con twice.
No, you've only taken one. You've got 8 gallons, but you're going to take another one. So you're in an 8-gallon deficit. That 8-gallon deficit is what gave you a constitutional decrement of...
Looking for Tick. He has a current deficit. Yeah, I have a negative. Base score is 16. Yeah.
And you went down
negative.
by 6.
Yeah, I think you rolled poorly. I think you went down by 6. I didn't expect this to be such a hard question. Rory, if you weren't spending all your time playing with your stream deck, you might have had this answer.
No.
Let's go to Nida. Nida, you are
7.
Because I have your numbers here, but I'm trying to see if you have that. So Nida, what's your deficit at the beginning of this day?
I know.
I think I'm only down by 1 gallon.
That is correct.
John, I'm fairly positive I've gone down twice. I am down -9 on my con, from 16 down to 7.
Wait.
I mean, I'm happy to raise that number, but I'm
Wait, hold on. Let me see here. Oh, yeah, so you actually, I have two separate numbers for you here. I've got your 8 here. Yes, you did.
yeah, I take good notes.
Yeah, well, when you can
I
find them.
remember when the first deficit happened too.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
huge.
Yeah. Dehydration is bad, but especially for somebody that's 1,400 pounds and working quite hard. We'll give Josh another. Has he texted anybody? I know should be on, I think, any minute.
He is parked. He's probably like rushing to get ready.
No worries. All right, so let's see. Manda, what's Anala? How's she doing?
She's only down, I believe it's a gallon, maybe a gallon and a half or so.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I lost 3 points in my con.
Yeah. And now you have staked out all day long, prepared your ambush, entered into combat. One can only hope that there are some supplies on these raiders, assuming you survive. While we're waiting, let's go ahead and make a couple of announcements. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us. Tomorrow night, we're joined by Dan Cross. And I know Robert and Vivi, I still owe you some notes for tomorrow night. This has all come together very quickly. So Dan Cross is the maker of Eldritch RPG. Go ahead and check it out. You can Google it. And he's got a really cool Kickstarter for, I believe it's the second edition of his Eldritch RPG. And a longtime creator, member of the community, friend of TLG, has some great Gary Gygax stories that we'll be talking through. And so we're really looking forward to having a fun conversation with Dan Cross tomorrow night. We will have Friday Night Crusades on Friday, I believe. Hello, Fantasy RPG. Good to see you as well. If I've missed anyone else, Dr. Freud, I'm sorry I didn't say hello. And so we will have Friday Night Crusades on Friday night. Then on Sunday, we'll have Tears of Aird, as Click has been poisoned in his pursuit of aiding Kiana, who is currently in servitude in a house of ill repute for a debt that her father passed on to her unwittingly when he perished. And these are not nice people that they are dealing with. In the effort to help, they uncovered a crime network that goes to the very roots of Altamira's underbelly. And they figured out last week that it even traces back to Klaus von Papen, who appears to be a criminal mastermind masquerading as a powerful merchant and family in Altamira. Then on Sunday afternoon, we'll have Fall of Red Dawn. Rory, give a little commercial for what's happening in Fall of Red Dawn and what people can look forward to on Sunday.
Well, in Fall of Red Dawn, currently, they are exploring a circus. They have enjoyed the wonderful enlightenment of a house of mirrors and some interesting events that took place there, finding a magical item. Currently still exploring that circus, and that circus is even available to you in the Discord.
Which is super cool. And so describe the games you have available in the circus, Rory?
Yeah, so there's 7 different games. There's a strength-based game, there's a wisdom-based game, it's a labyrinth. It's all just text kind of RP. You can do the role in the role channel. The characters can still play text RP within that channel. But there's, you roll the dice, you add a con modifier that I've given, and then I'll create a scenario for how that all rolled out. Ha ha ha. And you get a little bit of a prize even out of it, right? So even the game, just like you're in the circus, in the game, and even to kind of give you a little sneak peek is that these prizes that are won by anyone playing actually have an impact on the game too. So it is literally like you are an NPC in the game, and you'll have a long-term impact that way.
Yeah, very cool, Rory. And it's something that we've never brought to the Blue Box Discord, and it was all of Rory's creation. And well done, my friend. It's been very, very popular. All right, well, let's go ahead and let's go through what happened last time, and Josh can hopefully join in progress with that so we don't delay getting started much further. As always, Ashlyn, by the way, I shout you out every week. Thank you so much for the postings that you do. Obviously, Amanda does all of our core social media postings. Kurt helps out with Twitter, but we now have this new TikTok stuff, which we're also pushing over to Reels on Instagram, and it's really, really fun, really cool. So thank you for that. Oh, one other announcement I can make. Now I'm going to save it till I can show my screen. I can't show my screen with this view. So go ahead, tell us what happened last time.
Cool. last time the party met the spirits of that family, being told to avenge them, and started to make a plan to have a bit of an ambush. They took a little bit of a rest, and as Tick took the last watch, which was a bad idea on all of our parts, he passed out from dehydration, started dying when no one else was awake. Luckily, I believe it was Lucius woke up, started throwing rocks to get one of us to wake up, eventually waking up Nida and sparking an argument between Nida, Anala, and Lucius about whether Tick should actually be safe, whether he was going to drain their supplies, and how worth it was to bring him back. Nida found that very offensive to her ideals and healed him anyway, bring him back up to consciousness, him thinking that he just, fell asleep and overslept. The party then eventually set up for an ambush, with Nida being the innocent, delicate bait in the middle of the canyon, Tick and Zephatok hiding behind a pair of large rocky outcroppings, and Lucius and Inala up top. The Tattered Flag Raiders eventually made their way down the canyon, one up top, across from Lucius and Inala, three down in the center with the leader riding on a mount, and another one perched underneath a outcropping in the cliff, hidden from the view of Inala and Lucius.
All right, so let's go ahead and let's take a look at that. Hold on here. I want this view. So here is, again, the incredible table battle map created by our good friend Fraley. And Patrick did all these minis, printed them all out from the Hero Forge creations, plus the custom sculpts that I have had done. The terrain was all created by him as well. And so let's just quickly walk through this battle map, and I'll show it to you from this angle, and then I'll show you the overhead so you can get a clear assessment of it. So here in the foreground, we have Tick and Zephatok, who have really just begun to take action in the combat. We have Nida and Anala, where Nida has come to Anala's aid after Anala leapt off this cliff, leaped onto Kraugau, the leader of the Tattered Flag, nat 20'd him, and slew him in one glorious, certainly Rule of Cool appropriate based moment. We have two more raiders here rushing, one bare-chested with what looks like a chitinous shell across his chest, across his shoulders, chest bared, and in one hand he has an axe, and the other hand he has a cruel-looking curved dagger. As the other one rushes forward, he has an axe, and he is wearing some sort of hide armor across his chest. You then also see atop this rocky surface here, this cliffside, this guy has a spear, and he's wearing traditional desert garb, and he's got the spear drawn back, has not selected his target yet. And then the one underneath the outcropping that was referred to a moment ago, he's over here. If I can find him right there, you can see it. And he is hidden from the view of Lucius, who stands up here and cannot see down there. But he's clearly in the view of Nida and Nala. Now I'll show it to you on the overhead view as well. So same view here, but now we have these two, Zeph and Tick here. We have Nida and Anala here. We have the slain Crodlu rider here, Kraugau. We have the two rushing forward. We have the man behind the overhang here on the cliff. We have over here the one with the spear, you can see, and then we have Lucius up here. So that is the current layout of the battle map. All right, go ahead and continue, please.
Yeah, so like John was saying, at the start, Nida was trying to get them to move a little bit closer and not move closer to them as much as she could. And eventually Tick got a little annoyed with how they were talking to her and decided to throw a rock at the leader's head, knocking him off of his mount and beginning combat in full as Lucius began playing an epic Tenacious D style tune atop the cliff, singing out into air. Zephytox sent I'm not the one in charge of the name.
Scrit.
I was close. Sent Scrit up to help distract the one atop the cliff, while also simultaneously casting Burning Sands to help slow down the ones on the ground. Anala leapt off of the cliff as she saw the leader rushing towards Nida, slaying him but falling unconscious in the process as Nida then rushed forward, used her final conduit heal to pull her back to consciousness into almost full health. And that is where we stopped.
Outstanding. Well done. And then, of course, we had Kalak and his scene on the table of the torture and the bursting through of his wild talent. We'll be saving that for later. Let's go ahead and jump straight into combat. Party, as always, thank you for being with us tonight. I know many of you had to rush to get in your spots, but most of you had the courtesy to get here on time. Hey, Josh, how you doing, my friend?
So tired, but I'm here and I'm ready to play.
You look like you're ready to play, and you look like you also grabbed your cosplay from some roadkill on the rush home. So, all right.
Dedicated.
What's that?
Dedicated.
Yeah, super dedicated.
Beaver gave its life.
All right. Hey, thank you, Moose. All right. So make sure if you're gonna give bits to the DM, type 4. Actually, do I have it? Let me make sure. Did I change it to 4DM or 4John in the tracker so it makes it easy?
Mr. Sloth Man.
Yeah. So put 4DM or just put DM, either one. If you're giving it to me, that way it tracks automatically for our mods. Reminder: our mods are running everything today, so listen to them. And as we begin, we are going to now the next round. We will roll initiative, and I believe last time you lost initiative. It is their initiative now, and so the enemy will attack as they finish their round. Then we will go to the next round. As we are late afternoon, underneath the Athasian sun, Rawl's burning eye stares down in judgment upon you, as blood already stains the soils of the Badlands, seeping into the cracks of ancient rocks and running in rivulets through their lattice work inside the Badlands stone. You can hear the wailing of the Crodlu as he sees his master driven to the ground in a spray of blood, as the lute of Lucius plays over the tops of these Badlands. The first raider on the opposite side of the cliff side here, I'll point to him. This guy with the spear, he is going to throw his spear. He chucks it straight at Nida as he sees the soft exposed flesh of the cleric almost turning her back to him as she's healing. Anala, he hurls back a wicked-looking spear with a long shaft. It's got a head on it that looks, you can see the flash of obsidian, and he hurls it down.
So
All right.
I can see him do this.
What's that? Go ahead and make a perception check, because you just kind of hit the ground. This is all simultaneous action. I'm going to say it's very unlikely. I'll give you a small chance to catch this.
That's a 15 on the die.
A 15 on the die, and your perception is +6. Is that right?
It's up in the air because I'm.
Yeah, I'm still getting. If it's no. So, in the chaos of combat, and remember again, simultaneous action. He's really drawing back as you are leaping off, as you're landing, and Nida is grabbing you. He was gonna go first at you. She now has interposed herself between the two of you and really has sort of exposed shoulder and back toward him. He hurls that spear at her, and your armor class is
16.
a 16. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and roll this on screen. Hang on, I'm fixing my camera lighting wasn't quite right on that. Let me fix that for you guys real quick. I want that to look as it should for the beautiful terrain. And all right. So here we go. A 16, and I need... All right. Let's see what we get. That is a hit. That is a 19 on the die. Nida, you don't even see it coming. A huge ebony-tipped spear slams right underneath your scapula as you're laying your hands on Inala, and you take... Six points of damage. It sticks in, and there's a surge of pain that arcs up your back. It's actually stuck in there, but it's still heavy, so the haft of it tilts back, digging across the shoulder blade, dangling like a barb hanging out of your back. You can roleplay a scream if you want. Okay, let's go to the other two. They're going to rush forward, and let me show this on the overhead cam. The one with the axe and the leathered armor, he runs straight toward Inala. He's going to be able to, or Nida, he's going to close that distance. This one that's going to be 5, 10. Yep, he's going to be able to close that distance and attack Nida. So both of them will be attacking the two of you, and I will roll again. So I already know what your AC is. Here we go, Nida. This guy's to hit is not as good. That is a miss. You twist from the pain as the spear hits you in the back. You kind of arch back. You see an axe go right in front of your face. You can feel the blur of wind in front of you. Inala, as you are feeling, you kind of standing up, the healing from Inala, healing from Nida is happening at the same time. You hear the roar and the fetid breath of this hulking raider, but he looks tattered, he looks weary, dark circles under his eyes, yellowed teeth, but he's a good-sized man, and he bears down on you. He's going to swing at you with that spear. He draws back. His spear is tipped with bone. It's got heavy chips in it, and your armor class is?
14.
That is a hit. Yes, that is a hit. All right, you take, not too bad, a glancing blow. 3 points of damage, scrapes along your back, scoring open a cut that immediately bleeds crimson into your garments. And now we're going to go to the remaining one, the one that stands there behind the rock. I'll hit him on the view for all the mad chatters. This guy right here. Nida, you had your eyes on him already. You see he lifts his hands. He has no weapon.
Oh, great.
What? He's unarmed. Come on, that's a good thing, right? He lifts his hands. He has no weapon. And he points his hands at... He points him in both your direction. And you hear him call out words. You see him moving his hands in arcane fashion. And suddenly there is a burst of flame that comes from his hands. Yeah, and you're about 30 feet away. You're in range. The burst of flames fans out, actually hits the back of two of his own party members as well. It's encompassing both. But I need you guys to both make reflex saves. These are going to be DC 15 reflex saves. And I'm going to do the same for these guys. They're going to be heavily penalized because they can't even see this coming.
Boom.
Okay, you made yours?
Nat 19.
A nat 19, okay. And?
So 25.
And Inala?
Nat 20 on the die.
A nat 20 on the die. Okay. As the flames erupt, they actually do more harm than good. They catch both of his comrades fully in the back. Sizzling flesh A burst of flame and smoke goes up as some of their garments catch and char, and you hear them both scream. They take full damage. So each of them, well, you're going to take half damage, so you know what they took. You each take 3 points, half damage. No, actually, I'm sorry, you nat 20'd yours, you take no damage. And all that. So something about the twisting motion, you wind up covered by the body of one of them. You feel the flames rush over you, but he takes the full brunt of these flames. So you take no damage. Nida, you take 3 points of damage. All right, and with that, party, we go to initiative. You won last time, and who rolled? I think it was you, Becca.
I think I rolled last time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you went here. All right, go ahead. Let's have you roll, Becca. And I have a 3 on the die. Thank you very much, Erleg Athlete.
Oh, come on.
I'm being honest. I could have lied, but I didn't.
Becca lied.
A 2.
Lied.
Oh, no. Okay. By the way, thank you, our friends from Trollord Games, for the raid. We very much appreciate it. All right. Now that we have the initiative over, let's go ahead and resolve this next round of combat. Let's go ahead and let's start from... Man, it is...
Don't kill us.
This is tough because my 2 squishiest players rushed ahead of the rest of the party in combat.
Nida's actually not your squishiest player.
Well, I mean, no. I mean, just you don't have a lot of armor class. I mean, like, you don't have a lot of armor.
He's seeing good HP right now compared to a lot of
Lucius
parts.
is very squishy.
Lucius is
Literally, but
Okay, so I got a +1 to the DM and everyone else. All right, so... Erleg, so each +1 is 200 bits. So 200 bits gives a +1, so you have 2.5 there. And we track all that at the top. So currently, in bits, Zep, you have 1, Tick has 1, Lucius has 1, Nida has 1, Anala has 1, and the DM has 2. And then I get, I guess, 1 more from Erleg, so that'll put me at 3. And...
He has -1.
And then we got to figure out which other... Okay, so Zeph. Zeph is going to get the other one. Yeah, all right. Okay. All right. So let's start with the spearman. He's tossed his spear. He reaches in. He pulls out a dagger, a simple bone dagger, and he flings it again toward Nida.
Great.
You got
And that is another hit. He is hot with his weapons. He's got a great angle on you also, Nida.
He does.
Yeah.
He really does.
All right, so that is only 2 points of damage. You feel it rake across the back of your leg, welling blood up across that slash as well. The one that is standing right in front of you pulls that axe back again. Having missed the last time, you come back around. He swings that axe. And that is another hit, another 19 on the dice. They are in fuego today. Ouch, that is 4 points of damage. Thunk! You feel that bone axe bite into your shoulder. You're now bleeding from 3 separate wounds. You never tell me how many hit points you have. I don't want to know. This is not Jay's game. Jay's going to track all your hit points so he can be nice to you. I don't want to know your hit points. I just play the game. All right, you are bleeding and badly damaged. The one in front of you, Enala, he swings. That is a miss. You dodge back. Now that you've got your bearings, you see, again, he's singeing. His garments are on fire. He's going to take more fire damage this round. But you easily dodge his blow. Now, the one standing behind the rocks, as he cast the first time, it was not difficult for you to note. There was a sense of draining. You saw what little scrubs surround you wither and turn to a whitish ash, and you even felt from within yourself a draining and draw, as though a hint of your own life source were somehow being seeped out into the very air. As he steps forward again this time, he once again holds those slender, gnarled hands out. And this time he looks directly at Enala. He holds out his hands and you see a thin green ray streak past, going right over the shoulder of the enemy raider and slaps into your body. As he does this, you see more of the remaining bits of foliage sizzle and dry, but now the drain that you feel coming from within is stronger. A sense of defiling of your very entity. As it touches you, you feel a drying, as though you're being desiccated from within. I need you to make another saving throw. This is going to be a fortitude save and also that DC 15. You can use +1s if you wish.
It's 15.
It's a 15, exactly?
Exactly, 14 and 1.
You feel the offense. These foul magics seeking to draw the most precious thing, more precious even than blood, the very water in your being, as he tries to drain it out with every eke of your will. Somewhat strengthened by the trials that you have gone through, you manage to resist this, and other than a further sense of parching, you take no damage from this. And now we're going to go, that's all 4 of them. We're going to go to the party, and because you are closest, actually, you know what? We're going to do the same thing we did last time. Josh, we just started trying your role-play-based initiative. So we're going to test it today again, see how it goes. So what is going to happen is, unless I indicate otherwise, there are some actions which take longer. It's going to be whoever's ready first. You tell me what you're doing, and just kind of watch for cues from the others, and we'll see how this works on Zoom. So, party, it is your initiative.
All right, Tick is ready.
Go ahead, Tick.
How far am I? So there was one of the raiders came up to the right side, or facing Tick. It'd be Tick's left side, I believe.
Well, yeah, one is here to Tick's left, past this wagon. And he is the one that's been attacking Inala directly. The other one is the one to your right, Tick's right, and he's been attacking Nida.
Exactly. How far am I from the one to Tick's left?
You are 20 feet with a wagon in the way, a broken wagon turned over on its side. Let me switch back to the view. That'll be a little easy for you to see from this view. So this wagon here,
Yep.
you know, there is Inala, and then he's standing right behind.
Okay, definitely way further than I want him to be. But I'll go ahead. I want to just, in a frenzy, run up to that wagon, grab it, and I know there's a risk, but I'm also very tall, and Nida is also very short.
Do not kill me with a wagon.
No, you're on the other side. You're on the other side. It might be Nala, but Nala wants to kill me anyways. Nala wants to kill me anyway. So, I want to grab that wagon, just pick it up, and just just throw it at the raider to the left of Nala.
Okay. Make a strength check for me, please. Just roll a d20 and add your strength to it. And you actually don't have a terrible angle for this. As you can see here, or let me show you again from this one. If you're looking here, and I should have flipped this camera because it looks like things are coming from the opposite direction. I'll remember to do that next time. But you can see here, there is an angle straight to this raider. Inala is more adjacent to him, not directly between you and him. Now that you pick up the wagon, what's your roll?
13 plus 6.
Okay. Good. I want to see how high it was, but not too high, because you could easily splinter this wagon. Now I'm going to make a saving throw for the structure of this. Okay. You pick it up as it creaks. You see a couple bits of wood fall off, but you do heft it over your head. You now have it, and that was only 10 feet of movement and a pickup. Yeah, I'm going to say you can still make that throw. If you make the throw in this same round, though, because that's really, that wouldn't be a swift action to pick a wagon up off the ground and hurl over your head. You're going to make this at a -2.
Okay.
All right, roll to hit.
I'm scared.
Okay. Roll the hit.
As Tick rushes forward, monstrous thews flexing, picks up this broken wagon over his head.
Oh my gosh.
Adding strength or dex for throwing.
Yeah, this is going to be a missile attack, right? So it's going to be your base attack bonus plus your dexterity. We'll do damage with strength, but your ability to aim.
Lucius is coming in from the top rope, and he's got a chair.
That would be 4, so it'd be an 11 to hit.
An 11 to hit.
7 plus 2 plus 2.
Okay, so not terrible. And with that angle, you're not going to hit Anala, but you are trying hard not to hit Anala. You toss the wagon enough to the left that it skirts past him. He skirts past him. He slides forward, and the wagon clatters and breaks apart behind him in a spray and splinter. Let's go to you, Zephatok.
The squirting and spraying of the wagon to his left. Zephatok will actually move forward around the wagon, getting as close as he can with his movement. And then the guy up top to the top right, on that ridge.
Yes, this one.
He be within 30 feet?
If you take your full movement, no, because this ridge itself is about 30 feet high. So you got 30 feet of vertical surface here to get to. So then you'd have to add.
Well, I'm not trying to climb up to him.
Yes, but I'm saying. Go ahead.
What I'm trying to do is I'm going to be using boogity expeditious excavation. So I'm actually just going to be scooping out the ledge out from under him.
Okay, but your range is 30 feet, right?
Yeah. So if I could reach that ledge.
Yeah. So you'd have to get directly underneath the ledge, right? Okay. Because the ledge itself is 30. So literally, it's a 30-foot range straight up for you.
Cool.
Right, and that is going to be 25 feet of movement. So you can get there. You won't provoke any attacks of opportunity, but you would not be able to cast that in this round unless you had 7+1s that you could convert to a half action.
No.
But there's too much because you got a total of about 60 feet here, getting there and then getting up. So to run there, get there, cast the spell up, that would be too much to do in one action.
All good. Would I be able to get to the one in front of Nida?
Like physically get to him? Yes. Get an attack in the same round? No. Again, that's a good 30 feet of movement also.
Yeah, then I'll just get to him and get in front of him.
Well, that sounded very discouraged, very unthreatening.
You could be a real giant and throw a wagon.
You could yell something feral. You could send Skrit after him.
I say awooga.
Do you have any kind of missile weapon you can throw as you're running?
Nope.
Well, you might want to think about that.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's go to you. Who's next? You tell me. Go ahead, Lucius.
So Lucius will pull out his weapon and kind of. During all this, he's going to be looking down at this, right? He's up on the cliffside. He can't see what's happening.
Right.
Really. So he's just going to take out his weapon, shake his head, run back a couple of feet, and then jump out over the cliff, maybe embodying a past life, and try and just like jump down on one of these bad guys with his weapon.
Okay. Now, reminding you, Inala jumped from a 10-foot ledge. You're talking about the top of this 30 feet.
Yes.
I jumped from the same place that
You did?
Yes.
Which is why she
down and then jumped off, but I still.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. Right. That's right. So this is a very, very, very dangerous thing to try. Okay. All right. Whoops. I don't know what happened there.
More bodies to heal.
All right. So we're gonna make 2 rolls here. First, you're gonna make your acrobatics check.
Okie dokie, and that's going to be with the D20, right?
And add your acrobatics to it.
Okay. So I rolled a nat 20. I have a +5 for acrobatics. You want to see?
No, I trust you.
Send you a screenshot.
Okay, all right. So you leap off. You're actually, it's a fantastic jump. You angle it correctly. Now you're going to make your why does my camera keep turning off? You angle it correctly, but now you're going to have to make a 2-hit roll.
Is that still the d20 or?
Yeah, you're rolling to attack.
That was an 11.
An 11, and your attack to hit bonus is?
I have a -4.
What?
No. What?
On my scorpion fang thing, that is what I have in for my weapon. It's a -4 for attack bonus with a 1d10. That's what it says.
Well, no. It will. So we'll look at that afterwards. But it really doesn't matter because I know what your bonus would. So you angle the jump correctly. It's a beautiful jump. However, you miss with your blade. So as you're trying to hit him with it, you don't hit. What you wind up doing is slamming into his body. He is also on fire. You both are taking damage. As you hammer into him, you slam to the ground. You would normally take 2d6 of damage, but in this case, I'm going to give, or 3d6 of damage with a 30-foot drop. In this case, I'm going to give you 2d6 of damage. You get a slight cushioning of your fall from the body beneath you. But then we're also going to see what happens with the flame. All right, as you slam into him, you take 6 points of damage.
Okay.
I may have to do a little pull on one of the cables here. My camera seems to be having fun tonight. All right, and he takes... you feel bones crunch underneath you. His head slams right into your sternum, crushing you. I mean, it almost feels like your chest snaps, but it doesn't. You're going to have a nasty bruise. As he collapses to the ground, you feel him crunch underneath you. The flames also cover you. You take only 1 point. You are burned, singed somewhat from the flames. Anala, you see this hurtling figure taking your extremely bad example. One of you is going to die with this. This party is going to die on cliffs. Tick tried to climb one. You two keep jumping off of them. Hammers with a bone-crunching thud. A spray of blood, a burst of flame, and you see Lucius on the ground coughing next to you.
Nala just looks over and goes, "You good?"
Lucius is unconscious.
Oh, okay. Next.
It's not.
Next.
And Nala is
already
going.
went.
Was that the
I
one
know.
in front of me? That she. That Lucius just took out. Okay. I'm going to see that tap Knight on the shoulder and just like hook a thumb towards him as I go after the guy that's in front of Nida there.
Okay, you step. Well, actually, so you're about 10 feet away. Nida is in front of you. That's a tough angle. You're going to have to climb over those bodies or push past Nida.
Oh, I'm gonna pull her behind. Like I'll pull her behind me if I have to.
Okay, and you do know there is something else you could do if you wanted to.
I know.
Okay, all right. So you're going to yank Nida back is your plan.
Yes.
Okay, so that consumes your round. So you step forward, you grab a hold of Nida's slender arm, and you pull her back. Nida, I'm going to assume are you resisting this?
Oh, not at all.
All right, we're going to call that your 5-foot step. That's going to take your round, though, Nida, as this happens, right? So she basically swaps positions with you without attacking, without provoking an attack of opportunity, and that will end the round. Let's go to initiative again. You lost last time, so Nida, you're up. And DM has a 4 on the die. Hello, everyone in the chat. Thank you so much.
5.
All right,
Done.
you have initiative.
As Nida is pulled back, she is going to pull water out of her little satchel that she hasn't been drinking from, and is going to use her elemental vistage to empower her cure light wounds so that she can heal herself, because if she goes down, we're fine.
Okay, fair enough.
So I'm going to add a d6 to that cure light wounds.
All right, as you call upon the power of Ganala, describe for us what anyone that looks at you would see.
So Anala has, or now I'm stuck doing it. Naya has a pair of water skins, one that she's been drinking off that she keeps on her right hip, and a more intricately designed one on her left that has a embroidered dagger surrounded by not only water but flowers that go up the blade. It matches the tattoo that can be seen on Anala's leg, and she takes her fingers and moves them across the water skin, not even like uncorking it. It uncorks on its own as a stream of water comes out, melds with the tattoos on her body that also turn liquid as she casts the spell on herself.
Gorgeous. Very, very nice. All right, go ahead.
Rolls really well and gains back 15 hit points.
Whoa! Say what? All right, incredible.
7 and a 6, and I get +2.
Healing covers Ganala as the covers Nida as Galana infuses her with power and water.
Fully healed. Jesus.
Next. Next.
Anala is going to lunge dagger first at this guy who was attacking Nida.
Okay. Roll to hit.
That is 12.
A 12. As you leap forward with your daggers, they scrape along that. What's the word I'm looking for? Come on, John. Anyway, the armor that he has, the skinned armor that he has across his chest, does not penetrate, just kind of thunks into his chest. Next.
With hopefully Anala getting this dude off balance, he's going to whip the Tetsubo around to try and slam it down on top of this guy.
And so for people who aren't familiar, and we'll show again, just simply because I love the tattoos on this guy, what is a Tetsubo?
A Tetsubo is it's a Japanese word for a long, like great club, except where it's got like metal ridges in it. This one, it's not exactly a Tetsubo by the word of a Tetsubo, but this at least has bone chunks in the wood of this club, and I definitely miss with an 11.
Total?
11 total.
Oh, okay. Yes, so as you swing, he easily dodges out of the way, even as Anala's dagger thunks into his armor. And next.
Dick is going to charge forward with bellowing out a loud cry, loud scream, as he takes another 10 feet forward to the raider that he attempted to hit, the one that Lucius landed on. And grab his ankle or his leg, for all I care. I can easily grab his thigh and swing my arm around with his leg in.
Okay, all right, wait. So before you go any further, Lucius is laying unconscious on top of his body.
I mean, it should still work.
I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just making sure you understand. The choice is you can do what you want.
So my thought is with Lucius on top, that if I'm pulling the leg of the raider, right, just letting Lucius's body kind of abruptly fall off of the raider. I'm sorry, you're dead. You didn't care about me.
Yeah, that's
fine.
Wow.
Grabbing this guy's thigh, pulling it out. I'm not trying to make Lucius go flying, but he'll tumble off the body. And just underhand, overhand, and whip the body at the mage.
Okay, you pick up. The improvised objects are the order of the day for Tick.
Over the top of the head to make Lucius fall off the body.
Yeah, I get it. All right, so you kind of whip the body off. Lucius is dumped unceremoniously to the ground, but doesn't take any more damage. And now you swing.
Yeah. So,
All right, go ahead. Roll to hit.
okay. Do I have any pluses?
And again, this is going to be your missile weapon attack, not your melee weapon attack.
Yeah,
You, I think, have
unfortunate.
one
Plus one.
plus. I can't tell. It's
Yeah,
not
I don't
for
see
me.
it, but I will.
And Rory, I'm gonna give a close up of this for you and for the audience, just to make sure. Okay, so this is where you're at. This is what's happening right here.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yep.
All right. I'll leave that camera there.
Throwing over the top of my head right at this mage.
All right. So.
And I'm gonna use my +1.
You
All
have
right.
2 plus ones.
Oh, I'm gonna use both of them then. +2.
Okay, now Rory, you can do that. This is going to be he's under partial cover as well. You see, he's been moving back and forth behind this rock I described earlier. He kind of steps in, steps out. So go ahead and make your roll.
Yeah, I mean, maybe at worst I blind him with some blood. I don't know. We'll see how this works out.
Thank you very much, Twy.
Maybe some blinding with blood, so that's 8 to hit. 4 plus 2 plus 2.
So you roll a 4 on the die.
Yep, and then +2 for my attack, and then +2 for my dex.
Okay, so you hurl the body. Let me get
Which
Lucius
is on fire, yes.
Yeah, and it's really not a very good throw. Unfortunately, it's not a dangerous throw for anyone in your party, but his body slams into the rock. This would be somewhat akin, give me this one anachronism of Hulk with Loki. It is that kind of impact. Thunk! This crunch of bones. He slides bonelessly down, a spray and splatter of blood. Gray matter squirts up the top of the rock. Other stuff comes out the bottom of the rock. It's like a bug splatter on a window, and he slides down. Not very effective in combat, but a glorious desecration of an enemy's body. Next.
And I will step in front of Lucius is right in front of me, I believe. So I'll step in front of him between him and the mage.
Yeah, because you didn't take any movement. I'll let that. Yep. Okay.
Step on him.
Yep. Good there. You step right in front of him. All right. Next. Everyone's gone? Okay.
Lucius starts to snore.
All right. Then we're going to go first.
Did everyone go? Because
What if I say next and you don't call? Yeah, if I call out and you don't go, we go. All right, so here we go. We're doing Josh's role-play based initiative for you guys. I'm still running my initiative with distance and weapon.
That's
All right.
not how. Okay.
All right, so this guy right in front, seeing Zeph run up, he maintains his focus on Anala. And he thinks he can finish her, I suppose. So he swings that wicked-looking axe once more. That is a hit. Anala, you feel that axe bite in again, and you take this time 4 points of damage. Thunk! As it hammers right into your chest.
And Nala just kind of like jerks forward as it slams into her and sinks to her knees and off to the side.
Oh, no! Anala slides down to her knees and then thunks over in the sand, blood mingling with the terrain around. Actually, rock and sand, because you're in the Badlands. It's, again, those cracked, hard rocks with a layer of sand over the top. Now, the mage, he sees Tick. Oh, yeah.
I just got a full heal, just so you know.
Ah, okay. Redeemed by who?
Rachel.
Oh, okay. Very nice, Rachel. Hold on.
I was hoping to finish off Anala.
Let's break out the heavy guns here.
I just pick up Anala and just start beating the guy with Anala.
All right. All right, you, Tick, as he holds out his hands. Die, half-breed. Feel the power of the defiling. And as he holds out his hands, you see there's a glow, like a haze, as though you would see the rays of the sun over hot sands going between his fingers. And then suddenly, the ground beneath you jerks, feels superheated. I need you to make a reflex saving throw. This is DC 15.
Okay,
You
I can
got
barely get a 10.
this.
Let's see if I can do this.
Let go, Tick.
Reflex. Yeah.
That's an 11.
Would have liked this a long time ago, but dirty 20.
A dirty 20. Outstanding. So you jump off of it. Which way are you going to jump? There's the wagon broken in front of you, rock to the left, party members to the right and behind you.
Yes. So with that in mind,
Right, you're still. I'm still rolling. You'd still take half damage, but I'm rolling. Go ahead.
well, if I move, is Lucius going to get hit?
I mean, you jump back. We'll make a roll for it, but you'd have to be pretty clumsy to do that. I mean, you got plenty of space to leap back and not hit
If
Lucius.
I move, will the wizard hit Lucius?
Oh, potentially.
Just put Lucius out of his misery.
All right. While you're thinking about that, you take 7 points of damage. You feel scorching come up your, like the heat from the rocks that have been, baking in the sun all day long is concentrated and seeps up through your feet. You feel your feet blister and the soles of your boots smolder. 7 points of burning damage.
So, I don't know how this will play out damage-wise, but Lucius is unconscious, and Tick has a particular belief that even if someone, protection of the weak is mandatory, right?
Yeah,
so
right.
then when it comes to Anala or Nida, it's like they require. I always mess it up. They require protection. Lucius though doesn't. He's tall, he's strong, but he's now unconscious. So core to Tick, if I believe that moving will cause Lucius to get hit, I can't move. I might move forward into the attack, but I can't allow Lucius to.
Well, we'll get into some of the philosophical elements of this, and when the needs of the one or the needs of the many outweigh, there is the trolley problem that you could face at some point. But we'll take your explanation here. So, what does Tick do?
Well, if I believe Lucius is going to get hit, I can't allow that. So I got to hold the ground to not let him be hit.
Look, as long as you don't pick Lucius up and use him as a human shield, I'd be trying to
Use
kill
him
you.
as the human shield.
No, there are no trolleys now. You get it. All right. So
So it really just comes down to, if I was in that spot, would Lucius think he's going to get hit? If will Tick think he's going to get hit?
he would think it's a possibility. I mean, of course, he would think it's a possibility. That's all I can tell you.
Then I'll stay.
Okay.
I'll
All
hold
right.
ground.
And that concludes the round. Initiative. You lost last time, so we go. No, you won last time. All right.
I won last.
Yep. I have a 4 on the die.
And Nida has.
A 6.
All right. Nicely done. So let's go. Your turn. Who's up?
Knight is going to rush. Can I get to Lucius?
Oh yeah, Yeah. So you're here. He's right in front of you. He's 5 feet from you.
Cool. I'm going to reach over and I'm going to cure light wounds on Lucius.
Okay.
Get you up. Boom, that's another 7. So that's 9 hit points back to Lucius.
You feel the healing power of Galana once more. Fresh spring waters balming your burning sores, knitting your aching bones and wounds in your side. As this healing power hits you, you come conscious, but you will have no action this round. Next.
Cool.
Go ahead.
Nida looks down at him. Hey, hold on.
You can respond. You can role play, Becca. You can tell me like things you want to look around, even take like a swip, but you can't take a full round action or anything.
Lucius would just kind of like come to, look around. Are you touching him?
Yes.
Take your hand, kiss the back of your hand, and then stand up.
All right, that's your round. Next. Next.
I got you, boo.
You got it, Anala. You can take this guy.
I'm down.
I know you can take this guy. Oh gosh, Zephatok has the dude by him. He can't move. Yeah, so he'll just take a freaking swing. Yeah, no, that won't hit, but it's not a nat one, thankfully.
Josh, did I send you dice?
Those are even worse, John.
Really? Really?
They're horrendous.
Really? Worse than missing every time you roll?
Here, John, give me a second. Let me roll.
I just rolled a nat 20 with his dice. I don't know
Yeah,
what you're
yeah.
talking
You better just.
Not all dice are made the same.
Okay. All right. So.
That's a 5.
All right. That's it. That's everyone, right?
Nope, nope, not me. I was just waiting.
Go ahead, Tick.
Okay.
How far am I from now that first question, did I take any additional damage for staying my ground?
7.
Or just the 7?
7.
When it gets to.
Are we holding off on that?
Yeah, when it gets you're gonna take because you stayed your ground. You're gonna take further burning damage this round, but it'll be on their turn. We'll save it for then.
Okay, so how far am I from that mage now?
All right, so you have 20 feet here and 10 feet up. So with your typical geometric math, let's call them 25 feet.
Unless I wanted to stay on the ground and swing at him there, right? Because I'm 14 feet.
Yeah, correct. You could, and plus you have a higher movement rate. So you could get to him. You'll have to leap over the wagon. So we'll have you make a reflex check. But if you make that reflex check with any room to spare, you could, with your movement rate, your long legs, your reach, you could leap over that wagon, get there, and make an attack.
Okay, that's what I'm doing.
Okay, make your reflex check. Just roll a d20 and add your reflex bonus. And I'm going to assign a DC to this.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your total?
I got some long legs. 19 plus 2, so 21.
Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, so you leap over the wagon almost in one bound. It puts you there. And you see his eyes go wide as you're standing right beneath him.
And again, just continuing that roar all the way through this entire 4 different attacks of throwing the wagon, throwing the body, continuing now moving forward with my club. Just and that's a 19 to hit.
A 19 to hit, okay, and there will be a penalty for you. You're swinging up 10 feet, but that still hits. Roll your damage.
I'm swinging up, right? But I'm not swinging up 10 feet. I'm swinging up like a foot.
Yeah, correct. But like it's not a target that's standing right in front of you. You know, your eyes are here, right? So your eyes are right at where the base of that is, and now you've got to swing up at that, right? So it's not a typical sort of combat motion, but you still hit anyway. Go ahead and roll to hit.
Perfect. Rolling damage. Yeah.
Tick, who leaps wagons in a single bound.
Chucks. Where'd it go?
Write a song about that.
12 points of damage.
Okay. You hammer your bone sword, correct?
Club.
Your club into him, thunks into his legs. You see he cries out in pain, jumps back, slams his back into that back wall to try to get out of range from you. He is definitely hurt, but he is not down. And that concludes the party, correct? All right, so now we're going to go to the one standing in front of Lucius first. And because everyone else is down, he's going to attack Lucius.
In front of Lucius?
I mean Zephatok. I'm sorry, I meant Zephatok.
Okay, there we go.
And yeah, Zephatok.
And Lucius is out again.
You see this guy? He's badly damaged, and his eyes are starting to dart around a bit. But he swings at you nonetheless, and it's weak. Almost with disdain, you bat the swing away. The one standing on top, up here. Let's see what he does. You see he turns and kind of vanishes from your vision over the top of that ridge. The mage, who has stepped back, now looks directly at Tick. First of all, he'll have to make a concentration check because he took a significant amount of damage in this round.
Yeah.
You see him grimace in pain. He looks around almost like a cornered rat. And then this look of malice. He's clearly unhinged. This is not a reasoning man. This is not a man who's counting the cost with calculation. This is a killer. And he leaps himself off of the rock and lunges towards you with both hands. What is your touch AC?
It is 14.
Oh, I forgot I should have rolled it on, so it doesn't matter. All right, so he, as his hands slap onto you, you feel a blackening and a cracking of your skin, and suddenly life force is being wicked from you as he taps at your very life. You take... wait, I'm sorry, no, you do get a saving throw. Go ahead and make your saving throw. This is going to be a DC 15. This is a will save. DC 15 will save.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh. Yep.
Pick's known for his will saves.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Any of my characters are known for their will saves, right? Falling asleep and everything. 6.
It's a touch like you've never felt before. Something very Hey, Josh is starting to warm up. Good. Josh, welcome to the stream. So go get 2 cups of coffee. So as he lays his hands on you, you feel that, and it's you're being violated. He pulls it from you, and it's sickening. It's nauseating. And you take 14 points of damage. And you see, even as you do this, his eyes glow briefly with a verdancy. And as he goes to step back, you see he's no longer limping.
Pick's body starting to pull in, muscles starting to contract, trying to fight this off. As eventually, especially the one with the club, the hand drops to the ground. You see, although he's standing, his head whips back, starts to spin and spin. And as the mage steps back, a cloud of dust blooms from the ground as Tick's body slams into it.
Oh my God. I thought you had more hit points than that, Rory. Okay.
Nida, let's get out of here.
As Tick slams to the ground, exactly as said, a plume of dust comes up from the rocks of the Badland and the sand and soil around them, and there's a hammering. His head smacks against the rock, and now we go to initiative. Nida?
You got this, Nida.
I have a 3 on the die. This is kind of an important initiative. Okay.
4.
All right. All right, who's up?
So.
All right. I've decided your roleplay-based initiative system sucks, Josh. All right, you're up first. Let's go to you, Zephatok.
No. Freak.
Yes, he did, Chris. He did exactly that.
What's the range on this? No, he's not. I'm guessing, no, he's not. Dang it. Just everyone's out of reach of me, so I'll just swing again on this.
Why don't you use one of my dice?
Okay, you want to see what your
the digital ones that don't.
You want to see what this does, John? Okay, yeah, you did pretty well for me this time. That's an 18 to hit.
Thunk! It hammers in. Finally, after 2 whiffs, you feel the satisfying crunch as your weapon hammers into his side. Roll damage.
Okay, here we go. Using John's dice again. 13 plus 4. 17 points of damage.
17? Tell me what it looks like.
He swing, and then on this next swing, he actually swings wide. So mainly it's the shaft of the whatever it's called that the Mad Chatters are helping try and name what it is via Japanese. But the bone staff, he swings along the shaft of his bone staff as it catches this guy on the legs, sweeping his legs out from under him, then using the continued weight, brings it straight down onto his torso, shattering the ribs.
And remind me of your strength. What's your strength?
Plus 3.
17? 16 or 17?
16 or 17.
Okay. Yeah, plus, so yeah, you hammer him, actually lift him off the ground. Nothing like Tick would have done, but he slams into the side of that broken wagon and just slumps over dead, exactly as you described. Let's go to you, Nida.
And also, if I can move at all, I'd like
sure.
to try and move towards the spellcaster.
Absolutely. So, you're going to take the most direct route and leap over the fallen body of Anala?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and roll d20.
That's a 17 on the die.
Yeah, okay. So you get all the way over there. You're now at the base of the cliff where Tick's body is lying on the ground beneath you, and you can hear the wheezing and cackling of the Defiler who stands atop the rock. Lucius.
You got
You're
it.
muted. You're muted.
No, I think it's even better this way. Keep going. Doing great. Becca, you are killing it. You're still muted.
You're probably muted on your mic.
All right.
There you go.
All right. Technical difficulties, guys. So the guy that I jumped on, he's gone, right? He's dead. He's down with the count. Okay. Perfect. Can you show me on the map where the next guy is? Because I was.
So the only two that, the one atop the cliff that threw the spear, I'll come back over here so you can see on this camera. So he was here previously. He has fled, or at least he's fled from sight. He's gone over the ledge where you can see him here. And then the only one that remains is the mage that stands here at the edge of this, kind of on the edge here, darting back and forth behind this rock.
Okay. And it was Nida who was down, right?
No. So you have a Nala on the ground and Tick on the ground.
Gotcha. That sounds like, well, if our healer's down, we're screwed. All right. He will run over to Anala and kind of like try and drag her out of the way.
Okay.
Like.
So you're dragging her sort of back toward the wagon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Roll d20 and add your strength bonus to it, please, and give me the number.
You said roll a d20?
Roll d20 and add your strength bonus.
Yeah. That is going to be a 14 with nothing. There's no modifier for it.
All right. Yeah, you're able to pull her, but not terribly far. She's not super heavy, but neither are you super strong. So you kind of drag her, get her about 10 feet away, halfway between where she was and the wagon. That leaves Nida.
You got this.
Nida's going to reach over, seeing that Lucius is pulling her back towards us, is going to reach over one more Cure Light Wounds, and then is going to step backwards after the healing magic leaves her, and is going to step back, making eye contact. Can I see the guy up top?
No, as I said, you can't. He disappeared over that ledge. So you got 30 feet up, and then he went back, so you don't see him anymore.
Well, I'm going to stare at the Defiler.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to move myself away from the two of them after curing her for not as much. Sorry, Anala. That's going to be 7 to you. But is going to back up and make full eye contact with the Defiler. and shout out, trying to draw attention away from Lucius and Inala, who I know are much lower than she is.
Okay.
And just shout out, "You take what is not yours."
Swipe or no swiping.
Very nice. Very nice.
And I'm moving away from them, so that I'm hopefully either Zeph will be a distraction or Nida will be a distraction, but I can damage Soap more than I think anybody at the moment.
Okay. All right. Then he will now go, the remaining combatant, and those feverish eyes, they dart about. You see he looks to his left where he could run along that ledge to flee. And he just glares down at Zephatok hovering over Tick's body. He looks at Tick for a moment, like trying to measure if he's still breathing. He holds up his hands towards Zephatok. He swirls a motion like this, and you see sand come up around you. And as it swirls, stinging particles of sand slam into you. I need you to make a saving throw. This would be a will save DC 15.
And I choose not to. DC save 15. You said what? Reflex?
Will save.
Oh. Will save. That's a 17 on the die.
Okay, no problem. So as it comes up, you can feel the sand try to wrap around you as though blinding you. Grit and sand get in your eyes, but you stagger back, and with force of strength, you push away there's a life energy that's coming to these particles. However, what's also happening now, the defiling magic has pulled everything around it away from the soil. You now feel it pulling from your body, and as does Tick, who stands right there. You each take 2 points of damage as the energy for this spell is pulled forcibly from your forms. Now we go to initiative.
Yeah, I take 2 damage.
DM has a 3.
Nida has a 27.
I also have a 3.
Roll again.
Oh!
DM has a 2.
I have a 6.
All right, you have it.
Hey.
Zephatok. He's standing there. He's about 10 feet. About 10 feet away from you and about 10 feet up.
Oh, gosh. Okay, let me pull myself back over to the screen. What do we got? Okay, so I'm right there. Tick's body's on the ground.
Right in front of you.
Height does his body give me if I wanted to jump off of it?
I mean, he has all the dimensions. I would guess Tick's rib cage is a good 36 inches. Not around in circumference. It'd be much bigger than that. But I would say from sort of spine to sternum.
Yeah.
3.
It's about that, yeah.
Yeah,
I
something
don't
like
have
that.
it up, but it's about
2. Let's call it 2.5 feet.
3.
Yeah.
Okay,
2.5
if
feet.
I wanted to cast a spell and then run and jump off of Tick's body, would that be possible?
Yes, you can cast a spell and get your movement this round. But of course, you would be doing nothing really at the end of that movement.
All good.
All right, go ahead and cast your spell.
What I'm trying to do is Zephatok will put his hands outward and in a clicking sound between his fingers, making snapping sound and his teeth chattering, he's going to cast Summon Nature's Ally. And he's going to pull a centipede from the wall, a giant centipede from the wall behind the Defiler.
Very nice.
As he's going to then run and jump up, but he's effectively giant centipede. Come on, attack! Big boy behind.
All right, you leap up as you summon Nature's Ally. Go ahead and make a reflex check. This is not terribly difficult. Roll d20 and add your reflex bonus.
That is going to be reflex. That's going to be a 12.
Okay. Yeah, so you as you do this, you land, and even as you do, you see the first sign of the antenna coming out of the side of the rock, a crevice between the layers of the sediment, and the antenna come out, and you see a couple of clawed legs coming out and start pulling its way out of the rock. Let's go to you, Nida.
How far is Tick from me? I'm assuming I can run up to him, but I don't have enough to run up to him and cast something.
Correct.
Okay. I'm still going to run up at him because that's all I can only cast things. Or hit people with a lot of negatives. Because I got wimpy arms. So I'm going to spend the round running towards Tick. Everybody else having been gotten up, and with that final
All right.
spell slot.
All right, and so you'll probably take, it would make the most sense for you to take this route, sort of safety between the desiccated brush and the splintered wagon,
Yeah.
which puts you
She's
along
not
the
gonna be
edge
vaulting over the
of
wagon.
that wall. Yeah, exactly. And no, what we needed is the diameter of your chest, not the circumference of it. You don't have it, do you? Well, use pi. It's not a perfect circle, though, is it? All right, let's go to you, Lucius.
Lucius will follow Nida.
All right, so you're running over there as well. Same direction, or are you going to move to the right side of the wagon?
Same direction. He's going to be right there with her.
Okay.
He got Anala out of the way, so
Okay.
he knows that Anala will not let him live if he lets Nida go run off into danger and not try to be there at least to help. So.
All right. The mage now stands toe to toe with Zephatok.
You forgot, Amanda.
Anala still has to go.
Oh, I forgot she was up and conscious. Go ahead, Anala.
Fine.
Yeah, I
It's
gave her
fine.
7 hit points.
Go
It'll
ahead.
be fine. No, it's
I'm
fine. No.
scrambling after the two of them.
Nah.
All right. So you get off the ground, and you're all three just sort of standing there at the base of the cliff.
No. So Lucius will is fully prepared to use a tick as a human shield and force
Yep.
Nida down because he's a thick boy. So he'll protect be a shield or something if we need him to be. So if anything comes, Lucius is right there ready to force Nida down.
Okay.
Nida is less likely to die than either of you. Anyone else.
Okay. While you guys argue over who's most likely to die, are you doing anything else, Anala?
Can I?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You just moved. You only moved 20 feet, so you can still take an action. You can throw. You can take a swift action.
I'm gonna
Okay,
throw one of my obsidian dagger at him. Though.
All right. Well, so now again, as warning, you can see the angle here. So, Anala, you have moved right here by them. You have the opportunity, but you also have Zephatok standing right in front of him. Zephatok has leapt up on top of the cliffside, and so your dagger throw will have to be right over Zeph's shoulder to strike the mage. You can take it.
Okay,
Come on.
or between his legs. Couldn't I aim for his ankles?
Your choice.
I
But if you're doing a
prefer
call,
to be hit
if you're
in the
doing a
back.
called shot, that takes a further further penalty. I would just roll to hit.
All right, we're gonna see how this works. Josh, I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. I'm used to this. Please kill him.
You
Kill
have 2
Zephatok.
plus 1s.
I have 2 plus 1s. I'm gonna use them.
No.
Okay.
Kill Zephatok. Let me.
So I
Let him be
rolled
free.
18, and so dirty 20 for the roll, and I can't see with the blind eye.
It was a dirty 20 for the roll. That's fine. So
Okay.
hold on. So, but he's considered partial cover. Actually, no. I do need what your bonus is. On it. This is a missile weapon.
Gosh.
That would normally hit easily, but he is significantly covered by Zephatok.
Yeah, it's a 1.
So it's a 21. All right, so we're gonna say you throw it. This would normally have been an easy throw for you to hit, but you're in your effort not to hit Zephatok, you're going sort of high and to the right, and it sails over Zephatok's shoulder, who is very tall. Right, Zephatok is a good 7, almost 8 feet tall, and so it goes over the Defiler's head and clatters against the wall. Now, the mage. He, for the first time, as he stares up at Zephatok, he does not appear to have noticed the creature coming out from behind the wall. And he turns and runs, tries to flee. So the first thing that's going to happen here is you're going to get an attack of opportunity.
You know.
Natural 18.
All right, that's a hit. You thunk. Even as you do this, your No, this is the same round. So your centipede is coming out of the wall. You see he goes wide. He tries to get around it, so it won't attack, but it did affect him. Make a reflex check. What was your damage?
Jeez. Okay, I'll use your D8 from now on, John, because these do roll really well. 14 damage again.
Okay, you hammer him again. He had been healed by sucking blood or life source from Tick. However, as he moves to run, the blow and the centipede coming out from the wall, he loses his balance and falls off the rock. That is 10 feet, unprepared. He goes head first, and you hear a thunk and a crunch, and you see his head twist at a right angle. His neck goes squiggly, and as he slumps over in the most inglorious manner, all goes silent, except the wind blowing over and the thudding footsteps of the Krodlu in the distance, who has run. And you hear the groaning of Tick, heavy breathing, and party. You have defeated the tattered flag.
Zephatalk would like to pull the giant centipede out and kind of wrap it around his shoulders as he jumps down onto Tick's chest and then kind of steps down off of him.
Okay. We're out of initiative party, so.
From sternum to spine, it's all in the chat, but from sternum to spine, he's about 5.5 feet.
His chest alone?
Well,
Like
we'll cover this later. No, there's something. We'll cover that later. Let's move on. Something doesn't make sense here.
Hold on, something ain't right. Sternum to spine 66 inches. I can see that.
Knight is going to finish rushing forward and seeing how the Defiler has slumped to the ground, isn't going to pump in that spell slot, and is instead going to pump in Stabilize,
okay,
pull out her healer's kit, start to, again, just work on Tick, using a healer's kit, as he's unconscious on the ground in this canyon for the third time. And turn to everyone else. Well, we've got plenty of people who might have water on them.
During this, you hear Lucius mumble under his breath, "Why is it always the big one that we're having to save?" Like,
Hey, to be fair, okay, you went unconscious and Nala went unconscious.
one time each. One time each. He's still winning this tally.
I feel like I'm definitely winning this tally.
No, I think we are tied. I have not gone unconscious. I have been.
Have I gone unconscious? I didn't think I've gone unconscious. The whole time, as she is bandaging and putting salves on Tick's body, just like, God damn it. Also, as Zephatalk is saying this, he's got almost like similar to the gladiatorial armor, where it's got the multiple different plates going down his arm. It's just the centipede clutched onto his arm as he's reaching down, and the centipede's just like eating the face of the Defiler, and then slowly going down his arm to eat into the body of this creature, or into the humanoid. He skitters back to it of leave the items, eat the flesh and bone, whatever you wish of all of these. Just leave the items, please, friend.
The insectile compound eyes turn up to you, antenna move, sniffing the air, rips another chunk of flesh out. Then you see as it scrabbles forward on the face, almost with delicacy, the pincers pluck out each eye, and then it scrabbles back up the rock and into the crevice.
He bows to it as it leaves. I'll start checking this one, as he'll start pulling from the Defiler.
Okay. All right, so as you begin to move around, the air gives little intermittent gusts of winds as the final echoes of the clash vanish down the walls of the cliff sides, and you can still feel the tension in your hands and arms where your weapons were gripped. You can smell the metallic tang of blood in the air. And anyone else doing anything besides looting the bodies?
I'm gonna go grab my Anala hops up on that ledge and goes look for her dagger that she threw.
Okay. As you go to look for the dagger, Anala, I'm going to have you roll a d20, please.
Yes, 16.
A 16?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And your dagger is bone, correct?
That one was obsidian.
That one's obsidian. Okay, yeah, you come up to it. You see it laying on the ground, and it struck, as it spun end over end, it struck at the flat. Doesn't seem to have chipped anything, and it lies unharmed on the side of the cliff. Anyone else?
Nida is healing, but is also going to call out to the air, just like, Thomas, are you still with us? Calling to one of the two children's spirits.
Yeah, I know you're calling too.
That was for the audience in case.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. You don't.
Gosh,
You know.
John.
Sorry. Yes. You don't. You don't. You call out. You don't hear anything immediately. But good job. Anyone else?
Lucius was looking for water skins.
Okay. All right. As you begin to go through each of them, let me read out to you what you find on their bodies. On Kragau, the leader, you find he has a spear, well made but tipped with obsidian. He has what looks like a leather carapace that he's stripped off of something. He also has a water skin that contains 5 gallons of water that is strapped heavily to his back with leather straps. And you find he has a small pouch that jingles a bit or clicks a bit as though it has ceramics or something inside of it. As you search the rest of them, the sense of defiling still lingers here. Those magics which have pulled from the soil. You see plant life dead everywhere. In the distance, you hear the sound of some kind of bird of predatory nature and sail off in the sky. You hear some scrabbling of rocks up top on the cliff sides to either side. And on the remaining, you find on each of them the 2 fighters that were surrounding Anala and Nida. Each had the weapons I described. So you found a bone axe, looks of average quality. You find a bone-tipped spear. There is the obsidian spear that was stuck in Nida's back. Each of them has a gallon of water. No, I'm sorry. Each of them has 2 gallons of water on them. And one of them has what looks like a thick leather skin that has been pulled off of some unidentifiable animal, which could be a hide breastplate. The other one has no discernible armor, but you do find he has a bone knife on his hip. And between the 2 of them, they each have dried insect proteins, which would amount to about 3 days of rations for one person. On the Defiler,
There we go.
you find he has tattered robes that look like they are pulled from some unfortunate herd animal, but have been inscribed with strange symbols on them. You find he also has a pouch, one on his left hip, which contains what feels like coins. On his right hip, you feel he's got some sort of feels like a hard bone or ceramic or something. You open it up, you find 2 things. You find a piece of obsidian about 3 inches long and 2 inches wide. Gleaming ebony, a Rawl's baleful eye still glaring down on you glints across this obsidian. And you note it's carved with a strange symbol. Roll d20. Oh, see, who was at the Defiler? That was you.
That was me.
Okay. Roll a d20 and add your knowledge. Let's do knowledge local.
Oof. Where's my knowledge? Well, yeah, no, nothing. Could it be knowledge nature?
No, it's not knowledge.
That Lucius would recognize.
You'd have to show it to you, but we can check that in a bit.
Knowledge local is a 19.
A 19 total. Okay.
Yeah.
No, this doesn't. You're not sure what this is. However, in the sack, you also find a piece of stone, which you recognize to be flint, and a pair of dried leaves, each of them about 3 inches long. I would like you to make a knowledge nature now.
That of dried leaves. Okay. Nope. That comes out to an 11.
Yeah. But you're a druid. So, yes, that is good enough. You recognize this. It's not an altogether rare plant, but this is scorchleaf. As it's dried, it's sort of a rust color. It has a very fibrous nature to it, and you know that it is used for the purpose of striking spark. It quickly takes flame and is used as an excellent source of fire. So there are 2 of these leaves in here. With that piece of flint, any rock stricken against it would cast sparks upon the scorch leaf and would give you something that would make it much easier to start a fire. Let me, since I will go ahead and show you the symbol that you see on this obsidian shard that you've pulled out. It's a strange looking, almost, as you look at it for a moment, it almost looks like a sun, but it has very jagged spikes that come off the sides with a circle in the middle, and then a principal ray coming off the top with a pair of wedges to either side. Glints interestingly in the sunlight. All right. Party, that is what you find on their persons.
In working on Tick, I want to, as like the beginnings of it, just check, like, because I as Nida know how much healing I'd given him, but also watched how much he was impacted by everything. I want to start off after that stabilization to seeing, like, hey, you still breathing?
You're muted.
Yeah, I had to do something else.
Oh,
real
okay.
Quick. When you approach Tick and try to check his current state, if there's breath, it's shallow. But it's
Just
questionable.
Put her hand on him, sending in that just stabilization so it can keep him at least holding on for the hour it's going to take. Well, Night has seen enough, like, wounds and is a healer. From that, does she get the sense that she needs to heal him quickly, or can hold him in this state as she heals him slower?
Neither.
Does he seem like he's past healing?
Uh-huh. So, John,
Yeah.
-10, minus con or add con, whatever, right?
Right.
Would be permadeath.
Correct.
So negative 10, and my current con, because of my water deficiency, is
No.
2.
No, we don't do that. So your con, that's a permanent number. I'm glad. So that's your permadeath number is always a permanent number. So that is established at first level. Now, if you have a permanent change to con, for example, if let's say you had a 17 con, and then you get through some sort of curse, and it permadrops your con, only then would we reset. We don't reset your death. Because, for example, if you've had a con decrement, you could technically be at, let's say you had a really low con to begin with, you're not going to perma-die when you go to like -4. That would be a very unfair way to do it. So what is your constitution bonus?
So mine then would be 13, right? Because
Correct.
The con bonus it's a 16.
You have a 16 con, so your bonus is 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's 3.
So -13 is permadeath for Tick.
Okay. Well, his breathing is extremely shallow. He is currently at -9.
Okay. Healable.
Woo!
Let me just check real quick how much I can heal with treat deadly wounds again.
Zephytalk will walk up and just like cut his throat. Like, might as well put him out of the misery.
2.
Make sure.
We're gonna start because if I roll really well, I can get you out of negative with the treat deadly wounds. I can't get if I roll really well with either of them, I can get you out. But like, chances are it's gonna have to take both. And I'm gonna try with the slow one so that I at least have a spell slot at the end of this. I'm gonna take that hour and I'm gonna work on Tick.
Okay. As you see, Nida, with the greatest fervency you've seen her have to this point, appiling all of the tender ministrations of Galana that she can possibly summon in this moment. Her deft fingers moving across his wounds, calling out to the elemental powers of Galana, summoning every drop of moisture that she can wick from her body to aid him. The rest of the party, the sun is very low. It's late afternoon. You've still got about an hour before darkness. Is anyone else doing anything as she spends this hour tending to Tick?
I think it's a great idea to climb the closest cliff. Except for I'm not going to do that. So just chilling out, trying to sit in some shade.
Okay. Zephytalk slumps to the ground. Go ahead.
Also counting how much coin was in that Defiler purse.
Yes, so in the Defiler's purse, you found...
200.
No, there were 27 ceramic pieces and 9 bits.
Okay.
Who found the ceramic pouch on the other Tattered Flag Raider?
Lucius.
I think it was Lucius. On him, you found 5 ceramic pieces and 14 bits, which would essentially be 6 ceramic pieces and 4 bits.
Wait, what?
5 ceramic pieces, 4 ceramic bits. Or 14 ceramic bits, sorry. So the way, just to remind you of the math here, because I know some people are unfit. So think of a ceramic piece, that's a whole unit. A bit is a tenth. So just like 10 silver would make a gold, 10 bits make a ceramic piece. And in fact, you've seen, do you have your CP there by chance, Manda?
I will have it at break time.
Okay, we'll bring it back after break. But I'll show you, just to give you a sense of it, this is an example of one that I pulled together. So most of your ceramic pieces will be in some form like this, where they are segmented as a decagon, and we'll have each of these chunks can be busted off almost like pie pieces. So if I need to make change, if something is only 5 bits, I snap my ceramic piece in half. I give that to the merchant. I now keep the other. I have 5 bits in this hand. So that's the way you think of it. Now, in terms of actual value, it takes 100 full ceramic pieces to equal the value of 1 piece of gold in a typical economy structure. So you find in that pouch 5 ceramic pieces and 14 bits. You also find a locket. It is strung on a leather thong, and it's wood, and it's hinged with what looks like bits of perhaps dried tendon, something similar that has hinged it. And as you pull it open, you can see it has a very crude drawing in it of, I mean, really all you can make out is what looks like a man and a woman.
So since that was the leader, right?
Correct.
That had
Correct.
his pouch on him.
Uh-huh.
So does that mean I also get his 5 gallons of water?
I mean, if you take it, you do. You were right there.
Okay.
I hate those leather thongs. They always ride up on me. You dork, Chip. And I love how the chat is still arguing about the diameter of Tick's chest, even though, as it was pointed out, it almost became a moot point. All right, so you have the 5, and then I gave you 3 on each. The Defiler I did mention, he had also 2 gallons of water on him. So you had, because there were 3, so you had 16 gallons of water that you were able to pull off of this collective group. It's really unfortunate. You did note way off in the distance, there were good-sized sacks on the side of that Crodlu bouncing as it was running off in the distance.
Cool.
Lucius will go find a shaded spot and sit down with his water and his new obsidian spear. Just kind of sit down and
Okay.
touch the point of it.
Okay. All right. As you do this, the air grows slightly cooler as Rawl begins to dip across the western horizon, giving a final angry glare as its rays radiate across the horizon. And as Nida is still healing, is anyone doing anything else?
And Nala's gonna go sit with Lucius, just keeping Nida in her vision.
Okay.
Can I see what the... screw it now. I'll just go up onto the ledge to try and start finding places as the sun is setting if we would like to camp for the night.
Yeah. So, that's the nice thing here, and you've already been here for a full day and a half. So you've scouted this area, you scouted it for preparation. This is not a foreign area to you. So there are many places where you could find shelter. All of you go ahead and make a survival check. So you'll roll D20, add your survival bonus, please.
I'm assuming not me.
Now, even you would apply to this.
Okay, John, I'm not judging your dice anymore.
You should never have done so in the first place, my friend.
I'm sorry.
They were a gift. That's called looking a gift horse in the mouth.
Hey, man, every other time I've rolled with them, they have screwed me.
Maybe they needed my blessing.
Well, can you bless mine?
Yeah.
Should I be rolling this
You just
survival
gotta
check, John?
kiss it before you roll it. That's all.
Oh, no, you're unconscious. I'm sorry. You're working on a different kind of survival,
You
Rory.
got this.
Yep.
You looked gift dice in the pips. Never do that.
What the
That's, sorry, it just came to mind. All right, so rolls, everyone? Did anyone have higher than a 15? Okay.
29.
So you're all not stupid. You know that to camp here immediately in this area, there are likely predators coming here. Even if you drag the bodies away, blood has soaked into the ground, entrails, brain have splattered upon the rock. Even the awful OFFAL of the one that was totally, his everything is splattered all over the side of that rock. This is literally a lure area here. You could do it if you want to, but the likelihood that predators will come is very high.
Well, it means predators will be going here, not after us.
Okay, just letting you know. All right, so as the party contemplates what they're going to do, we're going to get prepared to go to our one and only break tonight. And I want to say thank you. Look, I've had like 40 people tell me that Josh just looks like a zombie tonight. No, I'm teasing. No one has said that. I'm harassing him in text. He worked really hard to get here, came skirting in under the wire to get on stream, has had a long day, and is very tired. So Josh, thank you so much for making time to be here today. And I know everyone had little things going on today, so that comes with life and all of us. I do need to thank everyone for the consistency of the stream schedule. Absent things like vacations and people being gone for the normal things of life, we've got another couple things coming up in August for some folks, but we will continue to have a much more consistent stream as we have in the past with our Tuesday night streams. And I want to say thanks to all of my players. Okay, so couple things. We have a Tailspire giveaway we're doing tonight, and we'll start the drawing for that after the break. And then after that, we will have our grand prize giveaway tonight, which is the thing that Manda posted on stream for us. The gorgeous Tales of the Outer Planes. Now, this is a Lightning Source reprint book. This is not original. I know we've given away some original things here recently, so I don't want to confuse anyone. But you've got 100 pages of glorious short adventures, descriptions, all associated with creatures and items, entities of the outer planes. This is a super cool book. We'll be giving that away later tonight. Tomorrow, I'll tell you about our guest tomorrow after the break because I want to show something for him. I do also want to mention to everyone something I forgot to talk about last week. So, of course, this is Dark Sun, but this is Dark Sun in the Flanaess. So that's why we call this the Sea of Dark Sun. If you have not seen the stream and the show of late, you'll note the way this valley is carved out. This is a alternate universe Dark Sun world, but it's based in the Flanaess in Greyhawk. And so we support all things Greyhawk here. That goes along with our love. In fact, I have my Greyhawk and my Dark Sun books right there. The reason I'm mentioning all this is we have a brand new lore and fan magazine that has been launched on the world of Greyhawk, and it's called Visions of Greyhawk. So, as you know, we are already big supporters of Greyhawk Online and the materials that are supported by them. I've got copies of those magazines. I can pull one of those out here for you as well. But this is a brand new one for the world of Greyhawk. So, if you've not seen the Orth Journal, this is a cool one. This one's been around for a long time. This is brand new. And I've had a chance to look at this first volume, and it's really, really cool. So it's well laid out. It's got very cool artwork. In this particular edition, you have a foreword kind of talking about it, the kingdom, Knights of Eventide, animals of the Flanaess, Panzos the Cruel, Druid Circles of the Sea, magic items, all kinds of cool stuff inside this. And congratulations to the folks over at Cannon Fire that have helped get this off the ground, and to the whole team that is behind it. And we'll talk more about all of these. I just love the fact that we're having new content created that is around these great settings like Dark Sun and Greyhawk. So thank you, everyone, for that. That's exactly right, June. And next week, so we're doing cosplay tonight. Next week, we'll all be wearing our AthosCon shirts, if you can. AthosCon is coming up here in just a couple of months, and that's going to be a fantastic convention. So we'll talk more about that here in the coming days. Thank you to all my friends over on the Dark Sun Discord and athos.org. We appreciate you. With that said, we'll come back. We'll do our first drawing, get set for the giveaway, and Blue Box will be right back. I feel like I'm wearing, what do they call that? Like an ascot or whatever those.
Cravat.
Yeah, exactly. That goes with your. I feel like I'm a preppy. I've already been challenged. I need better cosplay for this stream. I do have a cool shirt. I'm not supposed to be wearing my Atari shirt tonight. I couldn't find it. If anyone has wondered, this is OG. This is. Oh, there it is. Yeah, cool. We'll show that after the break. This Atari shirt is not a remake. This is one of the original 80s Atari shirts.
Why are you not supposed to be wearing it?
Well, because I'm supposed to be in cosplay.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was released in like the '60s or something.
I think he got it for his first birthday present.
Oh, that makes sense. Back in the '40s.
Yeah.
So I have a coworker, and
You guys are so mean to me.
Most of us do.
I try to be a kind and gentle DM. Why are you so cruel?
and I told her that she's prehistoric,
Kitty cat.
that she'd be entering the nursing home soon, and she left.
Kitty cat.
This is Binks.
Oh, I love him.
Let go.
So immediately after this game, I've got to run to another house, not run, but drive to another house for a house sitting job. And it's the dog that my brother and sister actually breeded that is here in LA, and it's this little floofy golden doodle. That's adorable, and I'm so excited. But I'd rather it be a cat.
I have 3. You want to come play with them?
I would love to. Nah, I'm not saying that on stream. I would love to come see your cats. Thank you, Amanda. Gosh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm doing my best. I am making like a dungeon as I am dragon.
This is my third energy drink of the day. I feel
I wish
you.
I could remember that.
Yeah,
I
hey
worked
man.
my first 16-hour shifts in between 2 12-hour shifts. So
Like, see, that's the annoying part. I'm not even like physically tired. I'm just mentally gone.
No, it's the air. It's the air and the. Wow, I won't say the rest because I'm on stream. But it's the air of California. It's the air of Los Angeles, or it's the air of. There's many ways to play with that word.
well, I'll just let you
Smog,
know
though,
that
was the
I'm
original intent.
physically broken, and it hurts. Everything hurts to move.
Hey, same. My left leg's still a little stiff, but I'm doing good.
Well, it's because you got into an actual crash.
Oh yeah, but that's fine. Like you're
Oh,
the
did you
one
like
that's
those
really
videos I sent
struggling.
you?
Yeah, man, rough. Like it's crazy. My therapist used to ride, and she's like, "Yeah, you need to learn how to pop a wheelie when someone cuts you off, so then your front wheel falls onto their back, so it doesn't hit you at all because you can." Ooh.
Yeah, until you don't pop it high enough and they clip your tire.
Yeah, and she's like, "That's why you practice."
For pop it. Oh no.
She's ridden for years and years and years and is insane. Like she's just an insane person. Great person to have as a therapist. But yeah, no, just too much time. Not enough.
I don't know how people walk around with both blind contacts in because I can't see anything.
Well,
They act like they're blind.
yeah, I'm pretty sure they're just blind, Amanda.
I mean, you
Yeah.
can see a little bit, but like, oh my gosh. That's what
Have you thought about not being blind, Amanda?
I mean, I've thought about it, but
Okay.
it didn't work out that way.
Oh,
You know,
okay, that
if
makes sense.
if Inala could cast like some like shadow magic, that'd be pretty cool because you have this shadow essence come like
You can do
the
Yeah.
green
something.
screen's not working for you today.
Go hang out with Erasmus.
Yeah, see?
She can
You
do
definitely have
something.
Rasmus vibes. What's that?
Rasputin.
What'd you say, Amanda?
And all can do something.
Oh,
Secret.
Oh, is it
Chick can
fallen
too.
conscious?
Yeah,
Tick can do a lot.
very good at that.
Oh, and I threw it out there to everyone, but if you join our Discord and DM me, I'll send you Tick's measurements and you can play around with them, have fun with it.
Now, will you send them the NSFW measurements?
I think they're in there.
Yeah, baby.
Yes, he does have all of Tick's measurements. Although I'm not sure how Becca feels about people messaging Rory in DM and asking for his measurements.
It's okay. I get the real thing. It don't matter.
It's so cute. I'm so glad, glad you like that.
All right. Everyone, stop talking and look what Manda made me for my birthday. It's a Highlander cow. Okay. And then
Sure,
you
it looks like a Weasley.
and then you got. She also bought me the entire crochet book of Harry Potter, so you best believe it.
I knew it.
But it turns out like it comes out and they're little coasters, and then there's like 4 little coasters. Okay, and then the stuffing comes out.
Oh my
and
gosh, you
then
de-brained it.
And it's where you're like,
Teapot.
I'm a little the
Teapot.
Teapot.
That one.
Teapot. Literally, it's been said 4 times now.
That one. That's what this one's
Pot
for.
of
And then you
tea.
got the little thingies.
So Becca, turn it the grass one, turn it over. The loops are supposed to be up.
You dingus.
I need a nap. We need a little bit.
It's called a grass mat, that specific style. So like when you're crocheting it, you actually pull the loop up and then crochet around the loop.
Becca just
I
got
have this
bullied
one
by
resident
John.
that snorts at me every time I laugh. Like hardcore just stares me down and snorts at me.
Yeah, she's used to this by now.
I would love to do that. I would straight up just.
Don't get it twisted. I have absolutely gotten her permission. She told me that is it is a sign of endearment when anyone joins her in snorting.
Yeah, like how when she was crying, it was a sign of endearment of my love for her.
It's okay.
Just remember,
like
Josh.
glitter is our sign of endearment, Josh. All over your new clothes.
Do it. You won't.
All right. Give us just one moment and we'll be back. Thank you everyone for your pay. Let me get the giveaway set up here.
Yeah, she already got you, Josh.
But she did it. You got me. I don't trust. I don't trust that it was her at all. It was all you, Rory.
Okay,
I mean,
I got
It was
me.
all
was that,
Rory.
yeah, it's fair
It was
enough.
all Rory and Manda.
I mean,
Becca had nothing to do with it.
I'm
Wow, where'd you get
glad
off?
We went and got the glitter for.
No, if you have, figure like Josh is in a grumpy mood tonight.
You should have seen him the night he found glitter all over his new clothes.
It was more. I was
He
just
real grumpy that
disappointed.
night.
Oh, that's worse, Josh.
Shoes in there.
That's much worse. Disappointment.
It's okay, I'm the family
Hurts the
disappointment.
soul.
I'm used to it.
You majored in that.
I really did.
Well, I mean, if you, yeah.
Ashley,
major
would you bring enough to
discipline.
share with the class.
What?
No, well, yes, but the class is too far away.
Well,
Thanks for your patient mad
What are
chatters.
those?
Almost back.
It's lovely churro crisps that Josh didn't take back with him from Lark, so were donated to me.
Are they any good?
They are.
You
They're
s-
more chocolatey than cinnamony.
Oh, that's too bad.
All right.
By Josh's.
And here we go. We are back now in 3, 2, and 1. Okay, everybody, for the first drawing we'll be doing here in just a couple of minutes, it is the Tailspire license. Tailspire is a tool that we use a lot here. In fact, you may see it here in a moment. But of course, we've been very focused on physical terrain for the last couple of episodes. Thank you again to the amazing Fraley. Also, thank you to, I forgot to mention, like, we're now an affiliate for Hero Forge. I need to get that code popped up because we can actually get. Did somebody kill their camera? What happened there? All right, so Zephytalk. And
No, it's been like that the whole stream.
no, it hasn't.
No, it has. I promise you on my mother's name.
Wait, what?
I've been Lucius like the entire stream.
Hang on here. All right. There we go. Oh, you look much better the other way, Josh.
Oh, I prefer being Lucius.
Yes, hashtag BlueBoxRPG. Thank you, guys. I wish I would have caught that earlier. But, you know, well, I won't point out the reason for that. But there was a good reason why that was a little messed up. All right. So as we get ready, hashtag BlueBoxRPG for the giveaway. And I'll mention again that we have tomorrow night, Don is going to be joining us. He is the creator of Eldritch RPG. He's got a Kickstarter for it. It's a really cool RPG system, but also he's a guy that's been around the game a while, has some great Gary Gygax stories and other gaming entities. It's going to be a fun chat that we'll have tomorrow night with Dan. So please make sure you join us as we talk the Eldritch RPG and Dan. It'll be a fun conversation tomorrow night. And with that said, we also have the ceramic piece. So Amanda, if you want to hold that up close to the camera for everyone, that is a good recreation of a Dark Sun ceramic piece. It can actually be separated into its component bits. Look at that. How cool is that? And that is from the amazing Manda. Also, I saw in the chat earlier, I don't know if anyone answered, like where all of this terrain that we've used here today has come from. I mentioned it was from Patrick Fraley. Oh, wait, go ahead and show that to us again, Manda. We'll show that. Go ahead. That is the pouch that she created also from hand and crafted to contain her ceramic bits and ceramic pieces. Fraley is also, this is his own moniker, but I will challenge the chat. I would love to come up with a better moniker for Patrick. As you know, Jay has Bill the Master Crafter that crafts much of his terrain. We have the amazing Patrick, and he has called himself the Semi-Master Crafter. I am pretty sure we can come up with something better than the Semi-Master Crafter for the amazing Patrick. But thank you again, Patrick, for all the terrain, the minis, and the cool stuff that you have done for us. All right, party, let's resume. And as we finish up here, I want to know if there is anything else that is being done prior to Nida finishing her healing ministrations upon Tick. All right, then go ahead, Nida. Tell us what happens after the hour.
So, there is something about Tick. Maybe it's the dehydration. Maybe it's how much water he requires that has, as Nida's working on him and still pulling a bit into that connection with Galana, even though she's primarily using her herbs. She's learned this through study with at the Water Song Temple, at where she made this connection in the first place. She can feel, for some reason, can feel where his blood is moving, clotting, needing that assistance more than she normally can. Because for the second time in the 24-hour span, Nida crits on a treat deadly wounds on Tick. As she imbues over that course of the hour, it's going to be, it's a max of 8 normally, because I mathed wrong and I should have, logically should have used the spell slot, because if I did anything other than a crit, it wouldn't have gotten him up.
Right.
But that's 16 health, so he's up to
7.
Yeah.
Tick.
As she spends that time, there's this as she's working, it's puzzling her. Like, she's never felt that sort of connection to the inner blood workings of someone, especially having now made that connection twice in just a singular day. There's a puzzled look on her face as she's finishing the work.
Nida.
Sitting back to watch him and monitor his breath for the remainder of the hour.
Nida, both for the extraordinary rolling, but even more particularly for the outstanding descriptions, you have inspiration that you can add to any roll that you would like to. Please take that inspiration, add it. Tick, as your eyes flutter open, pain still racking your body, your eyes feel thick and gritty. Not only the dehydration, the sand, your mouth, your tongue feels thick inside your mouth. You can't make saliva. And as your eyes flutter open, you once again see the angelic face of Nida leaning over you. You see this time, though, unlike last time, she looks a little more haggard, beads of sweat coming down her forehead, and she's breathing heavily from the exertion.
I did not. I did not get in trouble this time.
No. No, you did not.
Why do you look so exhausted? As I'm laying there, just like you said, everything hurts to move. Even though internally there's a sense of rage building up inside of him, it's just in so much pain to even move. Just why?
No, I've never had to use so much so quickly.
Because you had to heal the others, you mean?
Everyone is healed.
Is that why? Not because of me.
No. Yours took the longest, but it's less of a drain on my core, but. And she like kind of rubs her back where that obsidian spear was, finding only dried blood. The actual wound is fully closed up. I've never used it on myself before. It's the physical feeling is different. The exhaustion is still there, but
yeah, exhaustion. And his tongue just slapping around in his mouth, just unable to just really. I mean, it was hard for him to just enunciate perfectly, anyways. Everything is just. Yeah.
Enunciate.
That is just. It's now just even harder for him. You don't by chance have water?
The others went to look for water skins. I believe that they found some. I've been here with you.
And I will forcibly push myself to be sitting up.
Slowly.
Fine.
You did well.
I did not do well at all.
You are not dead. None of us are dead. Yes, they are. You knocked him off of his mount before he could fully charge at me.
And I caused a body to do nothing except smash a wall. And I threw a cart at nothing but sand. And I felt a mage take my essence. I did not do well.
I think actually Tick may have created the first two pieces of half-giant artwork in Athos, and you should be grateful for that opportunity.
I am a body throwing sand beaten half giant. I do not think I did well.
Well, then there is always ways to do better.
Is
But you
Lucius
did
in
something.
earshot of this?
Go ahead, what was that?
I was asking if Lucius was in earshot of this.
Yeah, everyone, I mean, unless someone has said otherwise, you're all now gathered. The now cooling corpses of the tattered flag raiders even now getting a nice light layer of sand brushed over their bodies. The tangy scent is still in the air, but also that stench of sweat and the entrails of the one still splattered on the stone waft across the air. You still hear the sounds of desert creatures skittering off in the distance, and you're all staring at each other as the very last ray of Rawl ebbs, and now we have moved into dusk. There is now, still a little bit of illumination, but we are on the precipice of full night. You see the first of the twin moons eking its way up over the far horizon.
We probably should not stay here. Find somewhere safe. And Nida's quickly going to look around and see if, similar to what we saw before, any sign of the spirits.
You look around, you don't see any sign of them.
Lucius will get up and walk over from where he was sitting and acknowledge Nida and agreed. I think we should go. With that, he kind of looks down to Tick or over to Tick. Not really sure how tall Tick is at this moment, but he hands Tick one of the 3 skins that he has full of water. And I believe this one was going to be from one of the fighters, so it's lesser than the others, but it's still like 2 gallons, I believe, of water. Just kind of hands it to him. And I know what it's like to have something taken that was not meant to be given, and just hands the water and walks away.
Dick will grab the water skin and open the top of it, a little puzzled by, not completely over his head, but a little bit puzzled by exactly what Lucius meant by that comment, as if maybe this was done to him, but not picking up on the full essence of it, and to go to drink it, and with the first gulp of that water, he'll actually begin to choke on it and do everything he can, as some of it is starting to spill out of his mouth as he's trying to hold it in his mouth, as the water has become such a oddity to his mouth.
Slowly. It is precious. Do not waste it.
That could be said about a few other things as well. Perhaps, and at this time he will very slowly sip on it instead of gulping it. It is better for you all to advance as I stay. I seem to be and I'll take a drink, look at the water skin, drain on the group.
Zephatok will speak up. You've definitely got that right.
She.
And he will approach. It's like, you're not wrong. You've not done very much for the group, pulling resources, being big, taking up water. But if you were to stay here, then you would be saying that the very healing that Lady Nida is doing on you has been worthless and has been going to a bad place. Would you refute the healing powers of a priestess? Would you say that she is putting it to bad use and does not know where it deserves to be?
Sternness comes across my face, and a bolstering of my chest, like, especially coming from Zephatok, like, this is not a normal thing to hear. What do you? I have. I say no such thing, little brother.
Hmm.
It is in how you decide to frame what you say. Do not take me so simple-minded.
Then do not be so simple-minded.
Then don't see so shallow. Things are bound to come again from behind us. At least my essence of existence can be useful as a delayance to what's coming after you.
It would be wonderful to have you at the back of the group as we travel. But to leave you behind, you're worthless on your own. You'll need a big brother to be by here.
A little bit of softness in the shoulders as take another drink, water becoming more accepted by my mouth and body. A little bit of a smile across the face and a thud into your chest. Yeah. I probably wouldn't be anywhere without my big brother.
Hey, I've done very
And-
little.
And a bit of a glance over to Nada.
Neither.
Yeah, that A will always throw me off. Over to Nida. And perhaps I would not be very far without you as well.
And with that, Zephatok, and I assume Zephatok kind of came up, kind of did his usual sitting on the balls of his feet with his forearms on his knees and just looking at Zephatok as he's laying down. And then with that, as he looks over, he's like, there we go. As he steps up and slaps you on the back of the head. And don't forget that. And
Do not
Nala,
forget what?
thank you. He's just walking away.
Okay. All right. Party, what are you doing?
And Nala looks very confused at being thanked.
Lucius is munching on one of his rations.
Okay.
We should move from this place. How much of a we've been moving more towards Silver Springs.
Uh-huh.
How much would Nida know?
Well, I mean, you knew you had a good close to 3 days, and you've really only had a full day of travel because you traveled a full day, you arrived here, you waited a full day, you had combat, so you would guess you have at least a day and a half left, depending on what kind of time you make.
I would say that we need to shift to traveling by night. I know it is more dangerous with the monsters and other threats that we might run into, but as it stands, we do not have enough water to be moving under the sun.
Under the sun.
Raul will desiccate all of our corpses if we continue moving under it.
As it stands. As you hear, he's not trying to mock you, but just kind of pick up on your way of speaking.
He's mirroring.
I need
He's masking.
much more, and his face will look to the ground. Much more water than this in order to continue. Actually, kind of morbid, sorry, but DM,
Yes.
being a half giant,
Yes.
understanding kind of a background of giants, would there be any kind of quenching of his thirst through the means of the bodies that are laying around?
Very fair question. There are a couple common misconceptions. You cannot drink blood. That is not quench thirst. There are ways to drink urine. but you must run them through something like a still, like a desert still, and there are means to do this as well, using evaporation and desert heat, tarps. And whether or not any of you would know how to do that, we would roll for survival checks to see if anyone would know how to do that. But you'd need to be in an area that you can dig, so that wouldn't work in the Badlands. You'd have to know how to do it, and it's not something that would happen immediately. But beyond the water that they carried, you can't just pull water from the body of a dead creature. Now, depending on the creature, there are other types of creatures here on Athos which actually do have small sacs of additional fluid. Kanks often will have nectar, particularly if they're not the soldier kanks. If they're more of the standard laborer kanks, the brooding kanks, they will often have globules of kank nectar, which is an excellent source of hydration. There are other animals which have pouches or pockets to carry hydration, but human bodies, no.
All right. Well, then he'll go over and kind of zoned out for a moment as he thinks about that and shakes his head. Yeah, I understand. I am a burden, but I do need more water.
I don't have any of the water skins.
And he will finish his last of the 2 gallons.
You got 2 gallons of water? Okay. All right, so let's go through deficits for the day. So each of you will require, again, humans, 1 gallon a day resting in shade, indoors, keeps you fully hydrated. In Athos, you could get away with less in an air-conditioned house in San Jose, but in Athos, even in the shade, the moisture wicks. There's almost no humidity. There really is, in many cases, no humidity in the air. So 1 gallon resting in shade, 2 gallons normal average activity, up to 4 gallons a day heavy exertion in the sun. Sometimes can be even more. Well, you did spend much of the day scouting and resting. You also spent much of the day in the sun as it came over the canyons. The Badlands give you little respite from the sun, except when you can stand in the sort of leeward shade of a canyon. So as a result, you're going to consume that 4 gallons for a human. I believe we have that set as 6 gallons for Zephatok as a quarter giant. Because and then we have it, of course, the 4 gallon normal requirement for the half giant, which quadruples, so 16 gallons is required for him in a day, right? That's what we said before, right, Rory?
Yeah, 4 at rest, 8 traveling, and 16 fighting.
Yeah. So you were in the sun, traveling, plus fighting, fairly, that was a huge exertion, plus blood loss. So each of you will require 4 gallons to maintain. And if you do get a full 4 gallons and you have taken constitutional damage already, you will get to roll a D. What did I do last time? Hold on, I've got my system here. It's a fairly common system. I've done a bit of a modification for it. So it depends on how much you have gone over, but you're going to roll either a D6 or a D8 to get Constitution back. As long as you get that minimum of 4, if you get more, you could get a bigger D6 or D8 roll for that. But you won't, from a single day's hydration, even with full hydration, get back automatically all of that it's not like you can just regain it from 1 day's hydration. All right, so party, as we go around. Who has sufficient water for the day that they're consuming? All right, Lucius, you consumed 4 gallons of water. All right, go ahead and roll a D6.
Okay. Good luck, kiss. 4.
Okay, so you restore 4 points of Constitution. You can feel your body recovering. And how much had you taken in constitutional damage?
2.
All right, so you're fully recovered. You're fully hydrated. That was all you needed. All right, Anala, how many gallons did you have?
I have nothing.
You have nothing.
Unless Lucius wants to share.
All right. So, Inala, I need you to roll a d8.
Okay.
I will. You rolled a 5. I should have announced this beforehand. I will allow +1s to be used to remove, per +1 of those constitutional. So if you could say, you're going to roll, you can tell me in advance of the roll. But for this time, I'll let you do it retroactively. I'm going to give 2 +1s. Then you can take 2 points of constitution damage off of whatever you're suffering from the dehydration. For those of you that are new to Blue Box, we don't do a whole lot of micromanagement of supplies and things like that, only where it's role play appropriate. We keep general track of such things to make sure there is some sense of realism to the game, but water in particular in this setting must be something which is handled in a different way than typical supplies. So, Inala, would you like to use any of your +1s to reduce that 5?
I have 0.
You did just get an extra
You just
one.
get one.
You just got one.
Okay, all right, you got a redeemed.
2. You got 2 more.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you very much, Natasha. So if you would like to use those, you can just take 3 points of con damage.
Oh, yeah, I will do that.
Okay, all right. What does that reduce your constitution to?
That puts it down to a 7.
7. So you were at a 10, which was a -1. Now you're at a -2. Is that correct on 7? I believe that's right. Yeah. I think you go to...
But a 10 is a 0.
10, yeah, 10, 11 is
I was
0.
at
No,
13. I took 3.
right.
4.
So you draw... Okay, so now... Yeah. Okay. So at a 7, you're -2, right? Is that right?
Yes.
I don't typically... It's been a long time since I looked at the stats that are that low. All right. So let's go to you, Tick. Tick, of the 16 gallons you required today, and remember, for your as people in chat are going, 16 gallons. This massive hulking giant is, forget the 11 feet, 1,400 pounds. A normal calculation, if a human required 4 gallons a day in the Athasian sun, traveling, exertion, and battle, let's assume a normal human might be 150, 175, maybe 200 pounds. It would easily be 7 times or more, 8 times that he should take in terms of water. So it's a very generous 16 gallons that he requires. And of those 16, he got how many?
2 so far, and kind of as a fair comparison, an adult bison weighs approximately the same amount.
Yeah.
So
Okay, there you
pretty
go.
large size. But yeah, so far, 2 gallons of the 16.
Josh, I just saw your chat, you jerk. No, that would definitely not help you with water. All right, so you're at a what, Rory?
-14 deficit for the day and no +1s.
Okay, and your current con is sitting at?
My current con is at a lovely, 7.
7. So you're going to roll a d8 with that deficit. And hold on, this, when you're talking about con, this is not like hit point damage. 0 is death. If you roll a 7 or an 8, unless you have +1s that you can apply, a 7 or an 8 would drop you to 0 or -1 con. You would die after 3 days of heavy exertion in the Athasian sun, combat, blood loss, just being dehydrated to the point of death.
Thankfully, I roll low, so I should do fine.
Do you have any +1s? You have 0.
I don't.
Okay.
And so, just to make sure, because I understand
You have a
con
+1
doesn't.
now. You have a new
Okay,
+1.
Sweet. I will use it.
Yeah, I agree, Pat.
doesn't
I'm quite generous with my apportionment, although that poor bison is covered in fur. All right, go ahead.
The con doesn't affect permadeath. It does affect HP, though, correct?
Yes.
Or should I be okay? Because I've been letting it auto adjust my HP.
Yes, it should your HP should be adjusted automatically, but I want to make sure I'm clear on the point I made. If your con hits 0, that is permadeath.
Yeah, you're clear on that.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna use that +1. So we'll see what I roll.
Roll low. This better not be the only good roll you have.
Yeah, and get like an 8 on that, right? Because yeah. So I rolled a drum roll. Keep it in suspense, John. I don't get many times to put John in this position, so I'm just enjoying it.
I don't want Tick to die.
I rolled a 5.
Okay.
Makes it a 4, correct?
Right. Makes it a 4. So you then drop your Constitution to a 3, which is a minus. Well, you'll do it on your try. So
It's pretty bad.
that hits your hit points.
Question.
Yes.
Because as Nida, she hasn't used
3.
her gating. She has not used. She has one more spell slot to do another healing, a hidden spring, which is her plan is to do that once we set up camp somewhere.
Right.
We will be pulling more water for the party
Right.
once we've found somewhere to like have time.
Okay.
If she gave people water later in this particular day before we actually sleep, would that then affect?
It could, but it would depend on the volume of water that you could pull through. And if you look at Tick, at a minus 14 gallons, what is the maximum?
Get at least like maybe.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Con back.
All right. So how many hit points do you have, Tick?
Now because of that,
Yeah.
I now have a max of 10.
And you're currently sitting at
3.
All right. Zephatok, how much water do you have today?
I have 2 gallons left.
Okay.
As per my notes.
All right. Drink.
And if there were no gallons on the defiler, then that is it.
Oh no, I said there were 2 gallons on the defiler.
Oh, then I drink 4 gallons.
Okay, you drink 4 off a. So then you're going to roll a d4,
Okay.
and you have 1 + 1 if you want to use it.
Okay. What on my D4? Okay, I'll use 1 + 1. I wanted to roll high or low.
You want to roll low.
Well,
Very
I
low.
didn't roll low. I rolled the highest I could.
You roll the 4.
That's a 4.
So it's a -1. So you take 3 points of con.
3.
Yes.
Woo!
So your Constitution is now what?
This is the first con
Oh, okay.
that I've had
All right.
saved, so I have -3.
Okay. Is there anybody I forgot? I think I got everyone, right? Oh, go ahead. Nida.
That's rough.
Sorry, Nida.
Nida, I don't believe has any.
You're nodding. She does. Lucius?
I gave her one. I gave her a gallon.
Okay.
So Nida's going to pull the water skin to her mouth and is going to pretend like she's taking it right. And is going to keep that gallon.
Attaboy.
So she's not going to drink anything. I'm going to use the 2 + 1s that I have.
Okay. And so
I haven't taken any, like, Nida hasn't actually taken any minuses because everyone's been like, let's keep Nida alive.
right. All right. So then
So
that.
she's actually doing fine.
Okay. So
Like,
that.
she has the most hit points.
So that's a D6 then that you'd be rolling.
Well,
You're gonna get a 6.
right? Based on how I've been rolling today,
Don't roll a 6.
2.
Okay. All right. You take 2 points of Constitution. You have a gallon of water remaining on you.
That's 2 points, from 13 to 11.
Right. Correct. So you go from a +1 to a no plus on your hit points.
Cool, that's fine.
Okay.
So
Uh,
-1 to my hit points.
All right. So now that we have done all that reconciling, party, you have gone through here. You have everything. That you still have seen no sign of the children.
Thank heavens.
I'll go
You
ahead
all-
and I'll.
What? You all looked at anything of interest on these shits for brains, or just the water?
What? Whatever.
You see Lucius just loaded with like 3 new spears, a couple bone knives. Like he's just like
Hey, you guys
loaded.
have weapons now.
I feel
Yeah,
like we
no,
should
nothing
distribute
interesting.
those as they can be thrown, and that seemed to be an issue today.
I said I'm sorry for my throwing.
Yeah.
The lack of water is still making you quite hard to understand.
Arshad. And he'll open his mouth further. I will throw better. We don't need to keep talking about that.
I meant in general, as we did not have any weaponry that could be thrown other than Inala's dagger.
Oh,
Lucius will just kind of pipe up. I thought I threw myself pretty well. Thank you very
You
much.
you and Inala threw yourselves very well. A bit dangerous. Appreciated, but dangerous.
I think it would have worked better if I was diving into water, but
Well, water can be very hard when you are coming at it from a high angle. It's a common misconception. It is not always a soft landing.
anyways, where are those bones at, Naida?
The bones of
I saw you burying them somewhere.
Oh, yeah. And she points over towards where the carts, near the carts where she had created those little mini, just burial mounds.
Right. Okay.
And I'll go ahead and give you a slight nod and a real sense of gratitude. At the same time, you can see all this time Tick has had patience. He always has patience with, even with Inala and her desire to kill him, and Naida always having patience in those circumstances. So he gives you an authentic thank you, but you see his patience being paper thin at this time. Good to know. And he'll abruptly and very just heavy stomps over to that area as he'll push his hand through the sand looking for those bones.
What are you doing?
I want water. They said there would be water.
And you're going to take it out on the bones of the dead.
Last
I'm not
time,
sure what sort of water you are expecting to get from dead.
All right. Who's over there by the bones?
Naida, as soon as he's desecrating a grave, is going to because he's leaning down, is going to stand on, straddle the graves that she dug and stare him straight in the eyes. It's like, you're really going to do this right now?
In front of my friends? Gosh.
And so his hand is in the sand. He's now looking at you. I am not sure what to do right now, Naida. And he'll pause, not sure how or what to say. Would not be here without you. So remember that, please. And his hand will, not as a strike, but the back of his hand will be placed into your stomach. And once touching you, he will then thrust it forward. So I'm not hitting you, but I am very forcibly shoving you away from me. They said water. Bones brought ghost. Ghost said water. I want water.
And she's going to rush back forward, full hand on shoulder, going to go with the flow to calm emotions, seeing the change in his demeanor, but very much still holding your eyes. You desecrate this grave and it will bring nothing but your own stupidity and your own selfish behavior to light.
Am I able to resist that?
Take your hand out.
Nala, what was it that you wanted to do?
I wanted to. The second Tick put his hand to push Nida, she was going to run up and dagger at his throat, just holding it there.
Oh.
You see the Zephyr of the night, the dark-clad Anala, sprints up lithely, bone dagger in hand, and is moving right towards you, Tick.
Okay. So, Nida hasn't yet made it back to me, right? And Nala, you're charging as I'm pushing her.
Yeah, I mean, you would have had... Yeah, you pushed her back. You could have pushed her back if you... Let's say you would have had 2 seconds. 2-3 seconds you know, for her to move and then come back.
Okay, so they're both right there. Nala, like I said to Nida, I don't have patience for this right now. So, I mean, with the knife in my throat, I'm not that out of it yet. But if I can resist what you're doing, Nida, I am not accepting. If there's like a save or his mental state.
I don't know if it has to be a willing. Let me look it up real quick.
What are you doing to him?
I'm using the go with the flow.
Oh, the calming of emotions. Yeah, so he would be treated in this. Typically, you don't have to do that with a friend, but in this case, he would be an opponent. So yes, he would have a saving.
I'm looking to see if that's a.
If you haven't yet, type hashtag Bluebox RPG in the chat for the grand prize giveaway tonight, which is this super cool Lightning Source reprint of Tales of the Outer Planes, which I showed earlier.
He can make a will save DC 15.
DC, make your save. Will save.
Oh, I'm sure I will get this will save. Life is comical. Life is comical. I got a natural 20.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so as you lay your hand on him, and every time up to this point, anytime you have laid your hands on him, it has been accepted, unconscious or not. It's always turned out to be a good thing. Except now, you are standing in the way of my water. You are standing in the way alongside with Inala as she has a knife to my throat, standing in front of our water. These bones bring the ghost. The ghost said they have water. The bones are gone. The bones need to be found. And so I will resist your attempt to calm, not knowing exactly that that's what you're trying to do. And I will swap my hand quickly at Inala to, hopefully without damage, turn my head towards you and backhand you with my hand to strike you away from me and reach in for those bones.
Okay.
Calling for the ghost, calling for the children.
All right, so Inala, you have no idea really. Well, I mean, maybe you do. If you wanted to do a sense motive, you could. But, you know, you've heard Rory's expression of intent. What you see from Tick are tensed muscles, bulging eyes, and as he turns his head, you see his hand come up towards you. What do you do, Inala?
Would I see it though? Because he's on my left side.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if you're standing like this with your head turned away from him, no. But if you're looking at him,
So I'm not. My head's not fully turned because I'm keeping Nida in my view. So it would be more like peripherals from him from this eye.
okay. But again, I'm going to say Inala is pretty cautious as well. and you're holding a dagger at someone's throat. So you would do your best to kind of keep both of them, watching Nida, but then also what you're perceiving is potentially a threat to Nida. So I'm going to roll for this. You actually don't. So in the what's happening is you're pivoting your head a little bit like this. The moment that you are looking toward Nida for a second is when he reaches out and catches you by surprise. There's a shove back against your chest, and you hear,
Hey, what you doing, guys? Hey, oh, it's them. Come on, I told you they would do it. That's because Mommy and Daddy said they would.
Thomas? Thomas, is that you?
So as you look around, you see coming up from behind Tick the two childlike forms, the slightly taller girl, Lena, and you see Tomas with her. And as they come up, they're holding hands, and they look up at you.
We knew you were strong enough to do it. Thank you so much. Mommy and Daddy will be here. They said they had to do something. I don't suppose you feel like playing with us while we wait?
I'll turn around, like, with one hand in the sand, one hand that struck Nala back. I'll just pivot, swinging my leg out and sitting down, facing them. Exhausted and worn and beaten, and look at them. Slight smile comes across my face. If I can sit and play, then let's play.
We like how strong you are. Could you pick up that boulder and break it? Please?
I don't know that I can, but for you, little ones, I will try. And a sincerity and almost a, if there was water in his body to do it, a sense that there would probably be tears. I will try for you to do that, little ones. And I will stumble my way to my knees and halfway hunched, crawling, move over to a rock and attempt to pick it up. As I get it maybe a foot off the ground and the weight of the rock pulls me back down to the ground.
I was gonna say, as you start to get up, seeing the kids and knowing that that's what they want, despite the fact that now Nida's like, I'm very, very irritated with Tick. A bit of guidance into your movement. Just a
I
little
pick
bit
it
of
up
extra
2
energy.
feet instead of a foot. I pick it up 2 feet.
Yeah.
I can, strong. And I drop it back down. Sometimes, little ones, the ground holds the strength.
You see the little boy, limbed in azure, his diaphanous form, you can see the rocks through it. He looks up at his sister, and even with his profile, you can see a puzzled look on his face. And you see the little girl, she shrugs. They turn heads over to Nida.
I'm sure they'll be here soon. Would you maybe, could you sing a song for us? And we heard you. Would you play that pretty thing with the strings on it? That would be lovely. We don't hear any music out here. It gets very sad and very quiet. Sometimes we hear screaming. We don't like the screaming. We like music, though.
Lucius will pull out his lute and kind of just strum a couple chords. Kind of humming a melody, no real song per se, but just humming a melody as he strums his lute.
Nida is going to look over at Lucius and very quietly mention a song that she knows from her own mother. And this is Ashlyn stalling so she can find the actual Athasian translation of it.
Take your time as you're doing that.
Yep.
What is Zephatok?
Found it. Got it.
Okay. Zephatok, what are you doing in this moment?
Zephatok's been sitting atop a stone just watching all of this happen.
Okay.
Especially with the backhand or push to Inala. He does rise up slightly and his hands go into a cross nature in front of him as the ground begins to move behind Tick. But then as Inala stands her ground and as he kind of calms down, his hands pull back in and he just crosses his arm again. He's not needed in this, but he is watching in case he is.
Okay. Roll d20, please, Josh. Give me your natural.
Also watching the ridges.
Okay.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. Okay.
With the blue box, D20.
The one that you disparaged earlier tonight.
It neaded your blessing. You were right.
As you pick up your head and you kind of pivot to look around, you see, headed, in the direction you would be going, you see something moving at you at a pretty good pace. Little plumes of dust coming off the Badlands. And in the distance, you can hear the pounding of feet moving at you very, very quickly.
Like, you said not...
Coming from where you guys were going to, not where you came from.
So, ahead of us,
yes.
Kind of coming in to possibly bisect any sort of travel.
Well, this is a channeled canyon, right? So it's coming straight to you down the canyon from the way that you were going.
Oh, gotcha. Zephatok will see that and then kind of stand up slightly to try and get a better look. Can he hear any sort of hoofbeat, footfall, anything that echoes?
Yeah, so as you're listening, you wouldn't, a hoof wouldn't even be a thing here. There are no hooved creatures in Athos. But no, you hear definitely a pounding footfall. With that nat 20, definitely bipedal and moving fast. Let's come back to you, Nida. The children look up at you expectantly.
Yep. Nida digs into her own memory and hopes that Lucius knows whichever, because Nida doesn't have a huge connection to her own Elvish background. This is one of the few things that she has.
Right.
She does begin to sing in Elvish. As I had to find the lyrics so that Ashlyn can actually do it. Et mali kudaran nasinan somarestan natalabinanari ilasinanetwa colore dara shir itmati Isalamai is poet my voice is poet my voice. as she sings this lullaby to the children in the same way that her mother sang it to her. Her
As the
voice not quite the same as Lucius's.
as
Not as bold, not as full. And hoping that at some point he recognizes the tune and begins to play along with her in a duet.
Mm-hmm.
does he?
Yes, yes. He is at awe by her voice. He has not heard another elf sing quite like this in a very long time. So he just wants to support her with his lute and listens to this beautiful song.
As the lute strums, as Nida's voice rings out with clarion notes into the Athasian night, the children stand rapt. You see little ribbons of light coming off of their head and shoulders, as though the vibrations of the music and the voice are lifting something from them. They both begin to hover slightly off the ground. Nida, Ashlyn, you receive the first minor fate chip of the Sea of Dark Sun campaign. Please make note of
Ashlyn
that.
doesn't know what that means.
I'll explain that later, but absolutely bravo, not just to have the boldness and the willingness to sing it and well on the street, but to have all the lyrics done in, this is not just Elvish, this is the Athasian Elvish that we have taken from published sources and then extended to what is a very close.
Not only that,
Go ahead.
it is Elvish from a different version of Elvish, translated to English, translated to Athasian Elvish.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of mutual work that we've done, creating a vocabulary here and a language that was absolutely stellar. Let's switch back to you, Zephatok. You can now clearly see it is a Crodlu, not just a Crodlu, it is the Crodlu. And as it's running, you see a frothy-eyed terror in its eyes. The bags of saddlebags are bouncing off of its side, and you see a pair of bluish, translucent forms rushing through the air toward you, behind the creature, pushing it towards you. But as you see this Crodlu getting closer, you can see it has no intent of stopping. Zephatok, what do you do?
He's like, it seems that your parents are coming. Let me stop our ride. Well, okay. First, as it's getting closer, he's going to try and call to it.
Okay.
Using speak with animals.
Okay.
But if that doesn't work, he's going to straight up just drop a sinkhole in front of it for it to just break its legs into.
Okay, you call to it. So when you touch minds with it, and go ahead and let's do roll the d20 and add. Let's use your animal handling bonus for this.
Okay. I just upped that with my level. Yo, blue box D20.
This is so funny.
Phenomenal. What was it again? Handle animal.
Yeah.
That is going to be a 24.
A 24. You touch the mind of the Crodlu, a very simple creature. The first thing you sense is its terror, and you just hear the word in your head: run, 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 run. As you speak to it, what are you saying?
In almost a melodic, rhythmic tone, like the chirp of crickets in the night. He just goes slow, slow, slow.
Run, 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 run.
Slow, slow.
All right, now make a diplomacy check. We're going to add, you're going to have a bonus to this with that animal handling. Manda, you have disadvantage on your next roll, so make sure you mark that down. That is for your bad behavior in chat.
What did she do? You said diplomacy?
Yeah. So just roll d20 add diplomacy.
Okay.
So you've definitely you've gotten through to it. It's hearing you.
Plus 0. Great.
Okay. You have a plus from the animal handling check. So just give me your roll.
Do I have any other plus ones?
I don't.
I'm assuming not.
I don't think so. So what was your roll?
Okay, so I'm gonna take the luck of Manda and Ashlyn. Yeah, that's a 9.
Okay, a 9. All right, but you had a 20. Yeah, so you actually see it begin to slow. But not only do you see it begin to slow, the two figures behind it disappear. They wink out of existence. You see the creature as it pulls up close to you. It's frothing, its eyes wild. Look around, not seeing them anymore. It canters over to you.
He's just gonna be clicking rhythmically, and once it gets up close, he'll just start stroking the nozzle, pulling its neck in against his shoulder for it to flop down in front of him. And he's just gonna rhythmically keeping that. Almost similar to the song that Nida was singing, but more of just the rhythmic sounds of a language to it, like the clicks and catches of whatever language.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Okay.
So he's just slowly.
All right. As you do this, you see Inala inexplicably combust into flame and drop as a desiccated husk. No, stop doing that in the chat, Manda. Stop doing that in the chat, Manda. You only get to do that to me when we hit 100, viewers in our stream, and I have to play the animations. Otherwise, you don't get to do that to me in the chat. You, as you are, gently calming the animal, you see there are 4 hefty water sacks that hang 2 on each side, dangling over. Easily, you would guess 5-gallon water sacks apiece that hang off the sides of the creature. It has a leather rein, and it has what looks like a chitin bit that sits in its mouth, which is frothing. Let's come back to you, Nida. As the last notes echo across the canyon, gently underscored by the wind that blows through, whistling, carrying with it the notes of Lucius and the voice of Inala, of Nida. When the final notes end, the children slowly drift back to the ground.
That was the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. Are you from the grave, like us?
No, it is something my mother taught me.
You see Lena, the girl, she steps forward and she gently wraps an azure arm around your leg as though to hug it. You don't feel a physical tug, but you feel just a slight chill, not unpleasant, that goes through your leg, and she just rests there for a moment. You see then the 2 Jinda parents appear behind them, and you hear the resonant voice of their father. You have done exactly as we had hoped. I cannot thank you enough. As their forms are wavering, you see the outlines of their body. They stand with one another and they hold hands. May the spirits of the desert guide you everywhere that you go. We have brought you the water that we had promised. We ask that you remember us, brave travelers, not for how we died. Remember us for the way that we have fulfilled our role to you. and for the children that we have brought and lost. They hesitate there for a moment. Both moons now partially up in the sky, casting their silvery light against the rocks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Would the parents be the man and woman inside the locket that Lucius has?
As I mentioned, it's crude. It's a very small locket. Carving a visage in wood in a small locket like that is difficult. But the shapes of the faces, they look like they could be. We ask that you remember us, brave travelers, as I have asked. May your path always be guided by the light. May you bring peace to the deserts. And as I have promised you, you have now a friend among the dead. And to have a friend among the dead is a good thing indeed. As they start to turn, the two children move over toward them. Lena reluctantly letting go of Nida, and with their diminutive, translucent hands, they wave. You see a little wisp of light, like fog, drip from Lena's eye, and then dissipate in a puff as it strikes the Badlands soil. And the children and the Jinda family vanish into the Athasian night. You hear a voice again as the last of the motes of light of their forms dissipate.
We didn't get your names. What do we call you?
And with that, we will end tonight's episode of Greyhawk Awakening Sea of Dark Sun. And thank you so much. Great job, guys. Great job. Thank you, all of you mad chatters. You guys were awesome. Hashtag BlueBoxRPG in the chat for this awesome copy of the gorgeous Lightning Source reprint of Tales from the Outer Plains. It's like a 100-page manual, but it's not just a one long, boring tome. It is something which contains myriad of little short adventures, ideas, dungeons, items, all tied to things like Githyanki and other planar creatures, which, by the way, Githyanki have an important and interesting role in Dark Sun lore. And so this is a cool giveaway. We'll do this in a second. Hashtag BlueBoxRPG. Thanks for staying with us. Yes, it does contain lots and lots of stuff. We'll have to go through the chat and look for the best recommendations for what we call Patrick the Semi-Master Crafter. Thank you to all of our mods. Let's go ahead and quickly do Stream MVP. And then we'll do our giveaway, and we'll go around the room. Let's start off here. I'll roll my D6, and we're going to start with first in my line, Tick. Why should Tick be Stream MVP?
Yes, Tick should definitely be Stream MVP because of his amazing feats, whether successful or not, during combat, of just the creativeness, right? Getting in there, throwing the cart, throwing the body, attacking the defiler. That one was successful. The role play that came afterwards with Nida. Even when I tried,
it's not that hard.
It's really not that hard.
there's
of
an
a
A and it
name.
messes me up.
Noodle. Right?
Don't even
so
get me
anyways,
started.
it's all over the place with my words.
Nida.
So the role play with Nida, and even the refusing of the calm emotions, throwing Nida back, and Anala back as well, even with the knife at the throat, like playing into the whole desperation for water.
Gotcha. And remember, these guys get 100 experience points for this. It's not just the honor of getting it. We thank you again for all the gay bits and subs today. Nothing will carry over. The DM, I think, is the only one that had any. Yeah, so they will carry over. I'm teasing. So in the chat, hashtag BlueBoxRPG. And also want to give a shout out. Hopefully he's still in chat. What you're hearing right now, of course, the Blue Box theme song, but also a lot of the music that you heard tonight. This is from our sponsor, Storycaster of Dice Songs, Joffrey. And he has done a lot of custom music and even a few sound effects and things that you won't hear anywhere else because they were made for Blue Box, for Greyhawk Awakening and Sea of Dark Sun. All right, so you, Tick, will be rolling for... Oh, Midsummer Waters, let's go. I think that's the first time that she has been in the opportunity for the giveaway in our chat. Newish follower, been super active in Discord and some really good lore knowledge and stuff too. So we're glad to have her in the community. All right, now next in line is Nida. Why should Nida be stream MVP?
Nida.
Well, Nida kept everybody from dying.
Everybody.
As almost the entire party, 3 out of the 4 people she could be healing went unconscious.
3 of 5 is
and-
only just over half.
Also, stood her ground and stared down Tick, despite being less than half his size, and
Straight up.
not letting him desecrate a grave that she dug with her own hands, and then singing a lullaby to the children to help just keep them calm and keep them there until their parents were able to arrive.
Very nicely done. Yes, you had an excellent night tonight, and I'll explain what a fate chip is in a second. Also, I missed there were many great chats tonight I missed, but I do like Grateful Dead is my favorite folktale form. Yes, you did have Grateful Dead tonight. You will be rolling for Bow Splitter. Bow Splitter, are you still in the chat? Looks like you are. Just give us a hey if you're there. Anala, why should you be stream MVP? Would you mind? Is it okay? I mean, if you don't want to, you don't have to, because I know you're missing scars on one side, but the full glory, you can see the tats on Nida, but look at the scarring, the blinded eye, absolutely glorious cosplay. Why should, good, glad you're here, both sort of, why should Anala be stream MVP?
Anala should be stream MVP for doing her job and defending Nida and
Straight
coming
up.
to her side when Tick decided to backhand her.
Seriously, straight.
Absolutely, and also, in the combat, when she grabbed Nida, pulled her out of the way, leapt in front to protect her, you're seeing this Vendarian Vitasan relationship play out quite interestingly. And this really, I should mention also, was something that was the creation of Ashlyn and Amanda. They have worked on this, taken the lore of Dark Sun, and really created something that is next level with the water elemental structure. Of course, elemental powers have stood in where deities have stepped away. And in our lore here for Greyhawk, when the twin cataclysms hit, the gods turned a blind eye to this area, and that is why the only divine powers are actually elemental powers. You will be rolling for tonight, Natasha. Man, she seems to make it into every giveaway. You are a very lucky lady. Let's go to you next, Zephatok. Why should Zephatok be stream MVP?
Should be stream MVP just for the fact that he did not go unconscious and has not gone unconscious yet.
And he killed the Defiler.
Oh yeah, I guess he killed the Defiler.
And he killed the last remaining Raider. Struck his body, cracked him, tossed him 5 feet. Also talked Tick down from wanting to walk away from the party.
He was just being a little moody boo. It's okay. He gets like that sometimes.
Yeah. All right. And so you will be rolling for Bobakiln. All right. And then next, let's go to Lucius. Why should you be stream MVP?
Bobakiln.
Well, Lucius jumped off of a cliff and embodying his former life.
Managed to do just a little more damage to the enemy than to himself.
Right, in style. Did damage to the enemy. What else did he do? He played a mean flute and accompanied Nida. Nadia.
Nida. And I do like also, if you're missing it, I like the way you're playing Lucius. Lucius, you got another little tiny tidbit about his backstory tonight. We still don't know much about these characters. And then also, you saw a bit of looking out for number one. Scavenge, made sure got the things that he wanted. Found a locket to the Jinda family, said zip about it. Got a lot of water, kept most of it for himself, and that is exactly the way, at least at this point in time, Lucius should be played. So that was well done.
Thank you.
You will be rolling for. No, you can't roll for yourself.
Hold on. He
Yes.
also showed us a little bit more. He allowed Nida to touch him and kissed her hand. Before the last time she touched him, he was like, "You need to ask permission before you touch me."
Oh, that's right. That's right.
He thanked her and kind of was like, "This is starting to become okay," and
Got it.
told him, and then he was
Nicely done. All right, so you will be rolling for Chris Bruengal. You got Chris Bruengal. Fantastic job tonight, guys. The stream MVP vote should be going up any second now. And we're going to go back around and make our rolls. Tell us who you're rolling for. Roll your D20s. And yes, the stream MVP vote is up. Go ahead and grab it there. And let's start with you, Rory. Who are you rolling for?
I am rolling for Midsummer Waters.
All
Hey,
right.
Midsummer Waters.
Is she a sub?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yo, Bobo, where you
In
at?
true fashion, I am sorry, Midsummer. I'm sorry.
Boo.
I got a 2 and a 6.
A 6. Hey, a 6 could
And by
still
the way,
win.
John, that is with the blue box dice. All my dice are just like that.
I have not blessed your die. You've had a rather dour and nihilistic attitude tonight, Tick. So I don't think the dice are liking the Tick spirit. I guess dehydration will do that to someone. Let's go to you, Nida.
Is Bow Splitter a sub?
Yes.
Boba.
That is the highest is an 11.
Okay.
Lucky number for the night.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Let's go to you now, Anala.
All right, I'm rolling for Natasha. And that's a 2 and an 18.
An 18 for Natasha. Uh-oh, am I sending something to Iceland again? Let's go to you, Zephatok.
Zephatok is rolling for Bobakin, but he has not been in chat since the win.
Oh, I thought he had. Did I not see him?
I'm looking for it. I responded saying, "Yo, Boba."
Oh, okay. All right. Well, good. So we'll give him one more chance. Bobakin, are you here? If not, we'll give you another roll in a second, Josh. But let's go ahead and go to you, Lucius. Make your roll while I prepare to re-roll the Nightbot.
You could roll for Becca.
Is Grundle a sub?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank God, because that first one was a 3.
Okay.
7. Sorry.
All right. And all right. So yes, we will have you roll because Miss Swiss Becca was the very first one I pulled.
Okay.
But I was
Nida
but
won MVP.
I like to announce that, Josh, if you don't mind. If you don't mind,
No,
Josh,
shut
that would be
up,
my
God.
privilege to be able to announce my stream MVP, sir. All right, so, hey, big round of applause, Nida. Congratulations, stream MVP by a wide margin tonight. Well done, well done. All right, go ahead and roll for Becca. Josh.
Okay, I'm trying to get all the bad rolls out first and foremost. Give me a second. Becca, give me a countdown for your first one.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, that's a 6 and a 5. I got you.
Congratulations, Natasha. Yet another shipment to Iceland. I believe she said August is working on a library for them. So you've got something else to add to that library. And as we get set to raid, I want to say thank you again to my players. I know many of you tonight dragging Life has been busy for many of us. I've heard that there is a wedding that's happening here not too long from now as well.
Thank you.
And we all know there is no planning or important things that have to be done when it comes to weddings. So I'm sure that's easy for them. But thank you all, and thank you for putting up with your DM tonight. As we get set to rate our friends at Guild Superior, any final thoughts from the players toward our Mad Chatters?
Have a blast, a wonderful weekend, and I love you all, Mad Chatters.
Yeah, play in the circ.
See you next week.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We won't do the question, but you should follow us. Give us a sub. Resub if you lost your sub. We'll see you in a bit. Rating Guild Superior in 10 seconds. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Eldritch RPG. A great chat with Dan Cross. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks to our mods. Fraley, the Semi-Master Crafter, may have a new moniker here very soon. And with that said, Blue Box signing out.
Peace. And we out.
We out.